Okay. I think we're ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know how many people, if anyone's watching us?
I've got it on my phone.
Oh, right.
Here. Just gonna put
Oh, it doesn't come up on the screen or anything like that?
No, that screen is just to show us what
Okay,
the cameras look like. Yeah. So,
all right.
You know, that's the both of us. That's you by yourself.
Okay.
And that's me.
Marvellous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technology, you know.
Brilliant.
Put it back on the main one. And look, you're on YouTube now.
Wow, are we live?
Yeah.
That's cool.
we're actually live on YouTube.
Modern technology. Who would have believed it?
So, not only are we live, but we might be able to see comments on here. So I've got the live chat over here. And I'm just going to leave that there. Just in case.
Just in case anyone stumbles across.
Just in case anyone stumbles across and sees this monstrosity.
Yeah. What the hell is going on here? It's like the Nightmare on Elm Street on YouTube.
But we were on time. 8:30. Bang on.
Well, yeah, okay. You have been setting up for the last 3.5 hours.
It took me half an hour.
Yeah.
To get started.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But we're here. We're here.
We are here. We are live. We are doing our festive, live
stream. Yeah.
We have spoken about for a while. And let's start off by addressing the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Steve, come up to Leeds. Let's do a festive live. Yeah. Good job on the effort there, husband. Really, I'm glad to see you've made an effort. Really.
I'm wearing green socks. That represents Christmas trees.
What people will never understand is that we came in tonight, having spent a lovely afternoon in Leeds.
Yeah.
We walk into your house. Frosty the Snowman is sat in this chair going, it's a bit bloody cold in here. Turn the heating on. You've sat there the whole time going, oh yeah, fill my cashmere jumper. Fill my cashmere jumper.
It's so warm.
And it was so warm. It's so much that I'm going to open the windows.
Mate, it's hot.
Of course it's hot, you're wearing cashmere.
I'm sweating.
I'm wearing China's finest polyester, praying to God that none of these lights fuse, otherwise I'm just going to go up in a ball of smoke. Right? I've never been in a room so bright. I feel I'm being part of the Nuremberg trials here. It's unbelievable. I feel I'm going to have an epileptic fit.
It's good, right? Time. It's nice, huh?
I don't know. I can't see anything.
We've got 3 lights.
Mate, it's like...
I prepared. You know, we've got 3 cameras.
Yeah.
Right? 3 camera angles.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of lights.
This is like a scene out of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm expecting...
It's a good
thing. What the hell? It's like, it is so bright, my eyes are going to bleed.
Hey, we've got people joining. I told you we've got people joining. Yeah. See?
It's so nice. And everyone's come on to say, who's that dickhead in the suit? That's what it is.
Speaking of the suit, man, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Mate,
it's a lot.
Go big or go home.
I think you should have gone home.
Right? Listen, you told me it was a festive live stream. I thought I'd make the effort.
I mean, when I said festive, I meant like after Christmas, New Year's, festive New Year.
Listen, nothing says Christmas than a Jew and a Muslim sat together, one of them wearing a Christmas suit. That's just the festive spirit.
This is meanwhile Christmas.
I'm not taking any fashion advice from you while I'm wearing Batley. The fact that my trousers and jacket match mean I'm still the best dressed person in the north.
What?
That's the only piece of clothing you've got. You always wear that.
No, I wear similar colours, earth tones.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what? Where's the cigars, man?
Oh, yes.
Because you won't let me smoke my own cigar today.
Right.
Because apparently you've got something really special.
I have.
So I'm going to cut to you. Go
on.
I
have. So I thought, one of the things you said in the last video is, in your last live stream, you talked about the best cigar of the year. And you turned around and said, I had some great ones with Steven, you had some great with others. And then you said, but I really enjoy smoking by myself as well. And I was sat in the shed having a cigar thinking, I agree with you entirely.
Yeah.
But then I really put some thought into it because I had a bit of spare time. And I thought, my best cigar is my next cigar. In other words, the one that I haven't had just quite yet, that I still have
You're looking forward to.
That I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
And I thought there are certain times whereby, let's face it, anyone who's plugged into this, and we're cigar nerds. We're
Yeah.
all cigar nerds, right?
course, yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're talking about tobacco leaves that we light and puff on. It's not rocket science.
No.
And we go into great depth and we collect and we talk about how we can make it better and age it and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, there's something that we're made to be enjoyed.
Yes.
And as much as we may take pleasure in looking at certain stuff sit on our shelves for years,
Yeah.
there are certain times in life where you've just got to go, no, now is the right time to enjoy it.
What on earth have you brought that requires such a massive speed?
Well,
this
I-
is like this. The anticipation is killing me.
Given the fact that you have gone to such an effort to dress up
Thank you.
for this festive, and the fact that I'm sat here now in front of the many thousands of people, I have bought
9 people. You be 5.
I've bought you and me 2 sticks of fuck all because you made no effort whatsoever. No, I have bought.
I feel like I've dressed up as much as I could.
Now, this is
You're in a
these-
3-piece
the-
Santa suit.
These and socks. I've even put on new Christmas socks for you. These were a present. Somebody bought me these. One of my colleagues at work bought me these.
Someone went out of their way to buy
So
them.
I have bought you, and these have been in my humidor for, oh my God, they've been in my humidor for like 14 years,
Wow.
right? So I just hope they're smokable. I mean, because I don't touch them. I really don't touch them. I just leave them in there. I've got maybe half a dozen of these left.
14 years.
Yeah, my maths is correct. They were 2011.
What the?
So
Are these the 1966?
this is a Cohiba 1966.
Holy crap.
And I thought we would smoke one together. Because, you know,
Oh my God.
as I said, if they've been in my humidor for 14 years, what am I waiting for? So we're doing something together. We always have a good
This is a
laugh.
cigar you smoke with your son.
My son doesn't smoke cigars.
Oh.
That's
Well, we could convince him.
no, I don't think he's got any interest, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
But this is it. You wanna enjoy the moment.
Wow. What
You
an
want to enjoy the
incredible
moment.
You know, do you know what's crazy? When I first got into cigars, like
Yeah.
7 or 8 years ago, this cigar was available on Cigars. And at the time, you might not believe me, but at the time it was about £250 a cigar.
Right.
It was expensive even then. And I said to myself, do you know what? Once I've like, you know, done this and this and whatever, I'm gonna buy one of those. It was like one of my peak cigars, and it was gonna be that cigar, the 1966. I can't wait. I'm gonna purchase this for £250. And by the time I managed to, I can't even remember what it was I was trying to accomplish at the time, but by the time I got there, they'd sold out. And I didn't know where to buy them anymore. So I can't believe these are here.
I was very lucky. I was travelling through Heathrow when these got delivered. And for whatever reason, the person who was in charge of the cigars didn't really know what they were doing. And they put them on the same price as standard production cigars. And I remember calling my
way.
friends. I remember calling my friends from Terminal 5 going, they've got the new 1966s and they're not expensive. And this, going back to 2011,
Yeah.
you know, cigars were reasonably priced within reason.
Yeah.
And I remember my friends just saying, buy the lot, just buy everything. Like, pay the tax if you have to leave it, just buy everything. And we bought a lot of them. And hence the reason why I have still got half a dozen or so of these. And I really don't smoke. I mean, you've seen my humidors.
Yeah.
I've got a humidor just filled with my
Yeah,
Cohibas.
but you and I, one of the things that we kind of agree on is that you and I both generally just smoke regular cigars.
Yep.
And we love regular cigars.
Yep.
Right? Like, for me, I know some of my friends make fun of me, but I love Vegas Robena. I love Juan Lopez. I love, you know, Ramon Allones, a lot of the classic line, just standard, not even global brands. This is like, wow.
Well, we hope so. As I
Yeah.
said, I'm not sure.
No, I
it's
don't
gonna
even
be
care.
like-
Do you know what it is? I don't even care if it tastes nice or not.
Yeah.
Because this was supposed to be my celebration cigar. You know, this was supposed to be the kind of cigar that I purchased after I accomplished a few things. And that was what it was. But it was $250 back then. So I don't even know what the price is now.
It's $6,000 a box.
Is it going to focus? This is the Cohiba, just so you guys know, this is the Cohiba 1966, which was the limited edition from 2011. And I mean, the fact that you've kept it in such great condition is...
Well, again, I think the wrapper looks a bit like tired. I mean, I don't know, it's not really glowing, but let's light them up and let's see how we go with them. And if they're rubbish, we'll just go back to our usual. Throw away the £600 cigar and we'll go back to our usual £40 cigar. I bought a couple of our regular ones. I've never used a cutter this posh before.
Yes, you have. You used it early in the day today. Yeah.
This is dead posh. This.
Yeah. Don't cut off too much. Little slice.
Let's see. I think we'll go a little bit deeper because look, it's a bit crunchy.
I'm going to be a little bit more delicate with it. Because
Also, I need access so I can pull out any stalks.
No.
There's one there. Look, I can get that out later.
See? Gentle.
Yeah, it's just a bit crunchy, that's all. Again, I don't know why. But again, it's not falling apart. I just hope that it's going to smoke nicely and you'll get
It looks fine. I don't understand.
We smoked quite a few of
humidity
these.
looks okay.
We smoked quite a few of these when they first came out. And then for whatever reason, I just stopped smoking Cohibas. I smoke maybe 1 or 2 a year. I've got a humidor filled with them. I've got... Last time we were up here, I bought you one of the Robusto Supremos that I've still got there. I've got the Magicos.
So Ryan Gasling said the speech was definitely warranted.
That's very kind.
For this particular cigar. And you know what? I agree. I was not expecting this. I thought you were going to pull out... You know the cigar that you gave me when I came to your lounge? I was...
That would have been so cool.
I was half expecting that, right? And I thought, if he takes that out, I'm just smoking the Vegas Romana. I'm just gonna, I'll take a few puffs of that cigar.
There you go.
And then I'm gonna smoke a proper cigar.
It's the end of the year.
This is a bit overkill.
And also, every week I tune in and I watch you smoke the biggest pile of dross. So
Whoa, I smoke good cigars.
No, sometimes you smoke utter.
What was the dross that I smoked last time? Vigueros.
Vigueros.
Oh, come on. Vigueros is not bad. For a live stream on Instagram, Vigueros is not bad. Don't say anything just yet. Let me get into it first.
Oh, relief. I don't know what yours is like. Mine's great. Sod you, don't care. Plug. Oh, well, there you go. Never mind. I'm all right, Jack.
Just ask me halfway through. Is yours plugged?
Listen, at this point, it doesn't make any difference. I can't feel my fingers. You're the one sat there in a cashmere jumper. Right?
How are you this cold? I don't understand.
Because it's minus 6 degrees.
I'm hot. I'm
Of course you're wearing cashmere. You're wearing toe in cashmere.
You're wearing 7 layers
of polyester.
No, I'm wearing cashmere and wool.
Oh, excuse me. He's sponsored by like Ralph Lauren or someone like that.
No, I wish I were. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I were. You know, I wouldn't even disclose it. I wouldn't even tell anyone. I just turned up in fancy clothes one time.
Cigar Inspector livestream sponsored this week by. That'd be so cool.
No, a lot of Fiana.
Oh.
Yeah. I wouldn't even tell anyone. I just somehow turn up and like, he looks really, really well dressed. What's going on? Like there'll be signs, but I'd never admit it.
Mate, for the price of one of their jumpers, you could buy another house in Batley.
For the price of one of their jumpers, you could get one of these cigars.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's how crazy this is.
I think I'll stick with the cigar. Oh, I tell you what. I hope yours is all right as well, but when you haven't smoked something or you haven't taken out the humidor for like this long, first of all, the fact it draws is of great relief.
Wow.
And oh, that's
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's a happy
This
place.
tastes like the most. This tastes for me. Do you know what?
Well, thanks for all tuning in. We're just going to sit for an hour and a half and smile while we puff our way through this. We may not talk very much.
Yeah, I don't want to talk anymore.
That's all. It's
Wow, this. Yeah, This is the most Cohiba can get.
Do you know, it's interesting because the big one that came after this was the Talisman, and for a lot of people it was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, for me it was a letdown.
Whereby this wasn't a letdown when it came out. 1966 wasn't a letdown, and it came out to, you know, big accolades, and everyone was ranting and raving about it. I think it actually came either 1 or 2 in Cigar Aficionado's cigar of the year it came out. And it's a really good cigar. I mean, as I said, I've not smoked this for a very, very long time.
This tastes like, this is exactly what Cohiba is. It's, do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not talking, I don't know how to explain it. So, you know when you have, okay, so the Siglo series, I've never been a fan of them.
As you continuously say.
I've been saying this quite often, and Mitchell doesn't listen to me when I talk about it. He just tunes out because he's.
Sorry, are you talking? Sorry, you started speaking, and I just lost complete interest. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
So, you know, Mitchell kind of tunes out when I start talking about the Siglo 6.
Yeah.
He's like, "Listen, man, you haven't got a palate." But I maintain the fact, the reason why I don't like the Siglo 6 is because he doesn't taste as good as what Cohibas can taste as good. It's okay as a Cohiba, it's just not quite Cohiba.
Listen, I enjoy them. Do I think is it something if I was paying for, would I go to the shelf and pull it off?
No.
And when we all went to Scotland together last year, can you believe that's over a year ago now? It's amazing. It wasn't one of the cigars that I pulled out the bag.
Yeah.
You know, I would much rather have a Pyramidus Extra.
Same. Agreed.
But, you know, at the same time, if someone offers me a Siglo 6, I'm not going to go, oh, go on then,
I'm not
have to.
In all fairness, actually, Mitchell turned up in Liverpool this one time, right? I say turned up. Mitchell was in Liverpool this one time. I turned up, and, you know, we're just talking nonsense. You know, I can't even remember what we were talking about. And then he's got a bag full of cigars, and he looks at me and goes, "This man, do you want a cigar?" And I'm like, "Sure, I'd love one." He goes, "Take whichever one you want." And he's got just crazy Cohibas going on, right? And I'm looking around in the bag, and there's a P2 in there. And I reached down and picked that one up, and he looks at me and goes, just disappointed, just pure disappointment, just looks at me and goes, "You're the only muppet I know who'd go through a bag of Cohibas and pick out a Partagas."
Listen, some people are more suited to shop at Lidl than they are Marks and Spencer's. And, you know,
No.
Listen, someone might offer you beef Wellington, but if you like macaroni cheese, you have macaroni cheese, son. All right? At least you know your level. I respect that. I really do.
No. It's because it was all Siglo 6s, and do you know what? I really enjoyed that P2. That P2 was glorious. You can't tell me a P2 isn't an incredible cigar.
It's a lovely cigar.
It's an incredible cigar.
Not everything comes with chips and gravy. You know, sometimes you got to elevate it a little bit.
You're telling me that the Siglo 6 is a better cigar than the P2?
Again, I'm not telling you it either way. It's
No.
It's whatever you enjoy.
No, it's not about what I enjoy. It's about what you think. Specifically, take away the price tag, take away all of the frills and whatever.
No, I have to say, a Siglo 6 with age on it.
No. You can't bring age into this because
Mitchell offers you a bag, a Siglo 6 from those bags.
No, it wasn't age. These are cigars. I know the ones.
Do you know what? I'd take a Siglo 6 over a P2.
You'd take a Siglo 6 purely because of the bragging rights. Not even bragging.
No, because
just
because
of the prestige.
No,
just because you could do this shit. That's why. The fuck out of here.
So, the man who smokes Quai d'Orsay. No, I don't know. I just feel I've got no problem smoking it. I don't think that just because it may not be the best cigar that Cohiba have ever produced doesn't make it a bad cigar.
No. I'm not saying it's a bad cigar. What I'm saying is, in that bag, the P2 was objectively a better cigar for me. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying for everyone, because it's late in the evening. I don't want a mild cigar. I don't want something which is going to do that limp handshake in the evening.
Yeah. I
want something with a kick to it. And the P2 was the perfect cigar for that evening. A Siglo 6 mid-afternoon. Again, it's not an evening cigar.
It depends how many you've had. I remember that evening we had, I think it was actually up in Leeds, at the Leeds store where we'd been smoking all day. And then right at the end of the day, we were looking for one more cigar. And Mitchell said to Ray, "What should we smoke?" And he went, "Oh, Partagas Maduros." And we all split up, and we were all like bleeding out of our eyeballs.
No, that was an amazing cigar.
It was amazing, but we were like, I can't breathe.
For me, look, I don't know what you guys got, but the one that I received, glorious.
It was our 5th cigar of the day. I couldn't breathe.
It was glorious. The one that I had,
it was
perfect. I smoked that right through to the nub, man. Mitchell was like, "All right, we gotta go." Wait, let me finish this first. That was an incredible cigar. But the point I'm making is, when it comes to Cohiba, I love the standard, the normal, classic line of Cohiba: Esplendidos, Lancero, Robusto.
Right.
Some of the best cigars ever produced. In fact, I still think that the Cohiba Lancero is probably, in terms of standard production, the best cigar Habanos has ever made. Just standard production. We're not talking anything with a double band, nothing crazy. We're not talking limited editions. We're talking just standard across the board, just basic level stuff. Basic level stuff. Lancero's the best cigar that they make.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yes.
This is just like, it's like Cohiba, but more. It's just so much nicer.
Listen, it's a special cigar, but that's what it's made for. It's a bit like the Siglo 6 Grand Reserva that I had when I was smoking.
Not a standard production. You can't bring that in.
Well, neither is this a standard production.
No, but the point I made about like standard production, you were just like, you were looking at me.
I like the Pyramidus Extra. I have to say, I really like that cigar.
Would you say the Pyramidus Extra is better than a Lancero?
For me, yes, because I prefer the size. I don't like narrow ring gauge.
No, I don't. I'm not even. I wouldn't even look at you and be like, "Oh, you're wrong." No, I completely agree. If that's because a lot of people don't like that thinner ring gauge, they prefer something with a little bit more of a gauge on it. Completely respectable. Completely respectable. For me, I think the Lancero is just a better cigar. But if for you, Pyramid Extra makes sense. Makes sense.
I always like something this size or bigger, because thinner ring gauges just don't do it for me. And also, as soon as you get any, you know what I'm like, I'll start picking at it, and as soon as I start doing that with a narrow ring gauge, the whole thing's just going to be an umbrella turned inside out within.
What was that? What was that cigar that you ruined recently? You were telling me about it. And
the Upman 50.
Yeah,
that was genius. I actually,
no, it's not genius.
I should have filmed it because it was remarkable. I sort of went in to pull the stalk, and as I'm pulling it out with my teeth, I just heard a tear, and the whole cigar just tilted at 90 degrees, and the stalk must have caught around something, and half the cigar just went off at an angle. It looked like some kind of measuring tool for GCSE maths. So then I felt obligated to try and straighten it out. So I straightened the cigar out, held on to this bit here so it stopped to stop it from going to a right angle, pulled the stalk out and just heard the most horrendous noise. It was almost like someone's internal organs were being ripped out while I was pulling it out. But again, it felt a sense of achievement.
What do you mean you felt a sense of achievement? That's
I don't know, it's just the way I feel every time I pull these stalks out. I feel like I'm part of the cigar making process because I'm taking the bits out that they should have taken out.
No, yeah.
As in, like, I'm sure you didn't mean to leave that in there. Like,
Like, this has got a massive stick in it, but it's like, it's...
The thing, do you know what's quite interesting is, after a certain period of time, the sticks don't seem to interfere as much. Like, it's very interesting. When you get new cigars, they're very predominant in the flavour profile, and they get in the way and all the rest of it. But this, as I said, this has been sat in the humidor for a very long time. And I really don't do much with these. I open the humidor maybe once a month, just move things around, and then that's it. So make sure
you don't smoke these at all?
No, I very rarely smoke my Cohibas. Well,
I gotta say, thank you so much for... I feel like I should have at least worn a Santa hat.
You think? Really? Or at least heated the house up to a level,
It's warm,
mate. If it gets any colder, I'm jumping in the freezer to warm up. Blocks of ice were lying on your kitchen floor, screaming to be put back in the freezer because it was so cold.
It's warm now.
You've got 2 windows open.
I've got 2 heaters on.
But you do know if you close the windows, you don't need the 2 windows on.
I know, but we can't hotbox the room, can we? Because
okay.
Then you won't be able to see ourselves on camera. And the audience won't have anything to look at.
I don't know. It'll have that sort of like smoky scene from a Christmas movie, right?
No, it doesn't, because it just becomes progressively grey. There's no smoky. It's just visibility just drops. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. That's all that happens.
But it's great that you've gone to such great lengths to pair this wonderful cigar with yet another wonderful choice of drink today.
What's wrong with my drink?
Well, you know, normally throughout the whole cigar world, people pair it with, you know, single malt or fine cognac. You've gone with Barocca. I'm sure that's what the master blender at Cohiba was really hoping for, but he spent hours deciding what should go into this cigar. He goes, what would go well with Barocca? Oh yes, this.
But it's got electrolytes.
It's truly remarkable. It really is. It's just.
That was a what's that movie from? Idiocracy. I don't know if you ever watched that movie, but in that movie, one of the things they keep drinking is Gatorade, and they're like, "Why'd you keep drinking that?" It's like, "It's got electrolytes."
Yeah, I bet he wasn't smoking a 600-pound cigar at the time.
Yeah, no.
That's all. I mean, you know, I just thought
this is overkill, you know, for a YouTube live stream.
It's not though, because
it's glorious in the best way possible.
You're smoking it with someone who, or for me, I'm smoking with someone who is going to appreciate it, appreciate the history, appreciate what it means, the fact that we are smoking. I don't know how many of these can possibly be left.
I don't even know.
And the fact that we are smoking something that once it's gone, it's gone. But we will have the memory. Not only will we have the memory, we'll have the memory recorded as well, so we can look back and remember. There you go.
There you go.
There we go. And remember it. And again, you know, I bought these when they first came out, so they were nowhere near the type of
But that's the thing, though. It's not about the price it was when it came out. It was because the price of it as it is today is still applicable. It's like inflation.
Well, no, at the end of the day, what did I pay for it? And the fact that they didn't know how to price these things properly at Heathrow means that it was a bargain, and, you know, we reaped the benefits from it.
I think you told me the price a little while ago
of
really how much you paid.
It wasn't a great deal. It really wasn't, which is why we bought so many of them.
But to think, a cigar of this caliber, when you look at it today, we're not even talking about the price. Ignore the price. Just a cigar of this caliber. You know when they say they don't make cigars like this anymore? I mean, I think they do. But we're looking at a cigar, in retrospect, 14 years worth of age, limited edition. It was pre-aged when it was rolled.
Yeah.
And it's Cohiba, it's the flagship cigar. So they obviously put a lot more effort into this. You know, the tobacco for this is aged in oak barrels, unlike every other cigar in the portfolio. So even ignoring the price point, this is an incredible work of.
The fact that the price has gone up so much is testament to how good the cigar is.
Precisely.
Because if it wasn't good, the price wouldn't continue to go up.
I mean, look at other Cohibas which have not gone up in the same way. Like, okay, we haven't had enough time for this particular cigar, but Siglo de Oro, right? One of the new, Year of the Rabbit cigar. It's a Zodiac series cigar from Habanos Cohiba cigar. Can't get rid of them. Cannot get rid of them. Retailers literally around Europe are just like, I cannot sell this stuff. I have to force people into buying them if they want Behicas. You want Behica, you got to buy Siglo de Oro.
Well, this is the problem that Habanos have done. They've tried to dictate the price to the customer.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it is the market that decides how much something is worth.
Agreed.
In other words, if you produce something that isn't very good and you put a huge price on it, people will choose just not to buy it.
Yes.
Because the opportunity cost is there for them to enjoy something else for a lot less.
Agreed.
If you make something really good, and I'll tell you, again, you and I have discussed this at great length, and I've heard you discuss it on the live stream. But again, you take something like Trinidad, which for many, many years was a nothing brand, right? They were one cigar brand. They had the Fundadores, right? But it was nothing.
Yeah.
As soon as they released Vigea, they really they'd released a good cigar.
Yes.
Right?
It took off.
And they milked it.
Yes.
And they milked it. But they didn't decide they'd made a good cigar. The market decided they'd made a good cigar.
Precisely.
Everyone was piling out. Everyone was going in looking to buy Vigea. And therefore it was like, okay, simple supply and demand dictates. You can put the price up.
Yeah.
If you just release, any form of product and decide, right, I'm going to put a high price on it, if the market decides it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Yeah.
And that's the problem, because as soon as you then need to get rid of it, you have to drop the price.
Yeah. And you can't.
And then you are cheapening whatever the brand is that you are.
Yes.
You are better off putting a fair market price on it. And we've discussed this, you know, and we see it in every cigar shop you go into across the world. You go into every cigar shop across the world, there are the same cigars sat on the shelf. And we discussed this afternoon. Things are so expensive now that people are not prepared to try anything new. You know, you and I, we can't claim to be experts as much as we would like to be, but we are, without doubt, cigar smoking individuals. We smoke cigars.
I don't know about you, but I'm the expert. I'm kidding.
You're an expert at something. But the fact is, if we smoke every single day, but we now admit that we really smoke no more than maybe 5 or 6 different cigars.
Yeah.
And we're not rushing out to try anything new.
No.
Why? Because at 70, 80 quid,
who gives a crap?
I'll stick with what I know.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm not here. I'm not trying to experiment.
Yeah.
I've done the experimentation. You know, I've spent years doing all of that. So we're not even talking about different regions. We're just strictly from one region. If we're just looking at Cuban cigars, I don't care to experiment with every single new cigar that comes out. And this is why I'm not really that fussed about regionals. I don't care that, you know, Italy's come out with a new cigar. They do it every single year, or, you know, whatever new regionals come out with this new regional whatever nonsense cigar. I don't care.
But
and
there are people who like to collect it, and it becomes a bit. There's the same people who like get excited about using flash lighters and flash cutters.
Oh, you mean like this one? But it tastes better with this light.
It really doesn't.
But the point I'm making is, I'm not trying to say that people who are interested in regionals are wrong. No, please enjoy. Yeah. Continue enjoying. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not going to experiment with them. I'm not going to go out of my way and, you know, because the opportunity cost is, or the cost is, I either buy cigars that I enjoy, or I take a risk on cigars that I have no idea about. And that's what regionals are to me. They don't appeal to me in any capacity, aside from the fact that someone's told me they're fantastic cigars. So I might try one. I'm not going to buy boxes of them, though. It's just crazy, because some of these regionals cost so much money. I'd rather buy Ramoneones.
Listen, at the end of the day, when I go into my den every night, that's my time. That's the time every day I look forward to, where I sit down, I take my cigar out, I light it up, and I take that first puff. Every now and again you get a bad cigar, and you know that that's part and parcel of the game.
Yes.
And you write it off and say, well, okay, I've had a bad one today, but that's what makes the good one even better. And occasionally you have to fight with it and all the rest of it. But fundamentally, you know that you're still smoking a cigar that you enjoy.
Yes.
For me to sit down and smoke a cigar that has cost me whatever it is, and for me to go, I don't like that.
Yeah.
For me, that is 2 hours of my day that I was really looking forward to.
It's the time and the money.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
And it means too much to me. That special time, you know. Now, don't get me wrong. If people were throwing these cigars at me and saying, "Oh, try this," yeah, all right, I'll try it. I don't care.
I get that occasionally. So I'm a little bit fortunate now where I will get to try, you know, a lot of the new cigars, and this is why I was able to try cigars like the Monte Cristo 90th, which is nice. But going back to your point about Cohiba, I just want to quickly, one of the points I wanted to raise myself is, I think that the price going up with Cohiba, not a major problem. With Trinidad, I disagree with the price increase, because as much as I don't think it's a nothing brand, I think it was like a niche aficionados brand. Only people who knew would generally go for Trinidad, and the people that used to go for Trinidad love Trinidad. But now the price point is just crazy. It just doesn't make sense. They should have never increased the price of Trinidad. I completely disagree with that. However, with Cohiba, if they stick to a few rules when it comes to Cohiba, I think it's fine. And with the Siglo de Oro, they broke some of those rules, which is they produced a relatively subpar cigar, small size, and no one really wants it.
Right.
No one really wants it. But if they make an excellent cigar, like if they really go out of their way to produce incredible cigars every single time, anytime they release a new Cohiba, any of the limited editions, any of the Zodiac series, they just really push the boat out and produce something ridiculously good, you know, interesting vitolas, then they could probably price it a little bit higher and the market will still buy it.
So long as they're producing, I think every release from Cohiba should be exciting.
Yes. Every new release should be exciting. It should be like, wait, what is this?
Yeah.
Because if they're going to charge that amount of money, then every new release from Cohiba needs to be top tier.
Absolutely.
It can't be like they phoned it in. It can't be just marketing. It can't be like, oh, well, you know, we didn't age it for as long as we should have. None of that. No. With Cohiba, no excuses. The greatest cigar that you can ever produce every single time, because you're going to charge top dollar for it. And if it's left on shelves, that's a problem. Cannot have Cohiba left on shelves.
But also, they don't necessarily need to produce as many. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are people out there who only smoke Cohiba cigars. Just as there are people out there who only drink Chateau Lafite. But those people are few and far between. And they are missing out on so many other really, really good cigars.
There's like 10 people in the world who are like that.
You know, and you're thinking, well, I couldn't, the amount of cigars that we smoke, I could not just smoke Cohiba every single day.
No, it's not going to happen.
You know, it just, not necessarily from a cost perspective, just from a flavour profile perspective, and just something like, it wouldn't appeal to me.
I wouldn't. I mean, I could not smoke this every day.
No.
Because it's a lot. I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
It's a lot. This is not like 14 years worth of age, and it's still like the smoke is heavy. It's not strong.
No, lot of flavour, but no strength, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very heavy flavour.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is like peak Cohiba. This is exactly what Cohiba is supposed to be.
This is when they used to make proper cigars.
Yes.
I feel like you're going back in time to when cigar. It's like, oh, when men were men and cigars were cigars, and like, you know.
No. I don't think we're past that stage yet, because there are Cohibas that I smoked which are relatively young, off the shelf, and they are incredible cigars still. Not quite to this level, but they're still very much, oh my God, this is a Cohiba. And most recently, for me, it was the Cohiba Lancero. You know, I smoked that, and it's still, every time I smoke it, I'm like, do you know what? Still incredible. There's just nothing, that they make which is on this level, for me. And it's still there.
Have you had the Cohiba Amber?
I haven't, not yet.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even excite me, because you
Yeah,
go
it
in there,
didn't,
and you're like, well, how much?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
How much is it? It's like £100 or something, right?
And you're like, really? It's just, for what? You know, when I can buy 3 specially selected, or, you know, even buy myself 3 nights worth of smokes for the same kind of money. And I just don't get it. And they've done that with too many cigars. You know, we were talking about this earlier. You go into cigar shops, you've loads of Cohibas, you've got loads of Trinidads, you've got loads of the
Linear series.
The Partagas blue label, or whatever. No one's going to buy them because you've put a price on them that makes them not worth buying.
Yeah.
You know, it's those cigars I would probably buy every now and again if they were 30, 40 pounds just to try it.
Yeah. But at 70, 80 pounds?
80 quid a stick?
Nah.
Do me a favour.
Nah.
You know, it's...
I'm not gonna, there's no way that I'm gonna buy the Linear Maestro series of cigars, despite the fact that I think, was it the Rito or the Rito? Right. Actually a very good cigar. Genuinely, from the whole series, I tried the Origen, I tried the Maestro, they're okay. But then I tried the Rito, and I was like, do you know what? This is a fantastic cigar.
Listen, at the end of the day, it boils down to taste, and I'm not going to say it's a good cigar, it's a bad cigar, all the rest of it. I had the Maestro. Is that the one in the middle? Is it?
That's the short, fat one.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, that is the worst cigar I've had in the last 5 years. I
didn't think it was great.
It did not.
I did not think it was great.
I was sat there thinking, this has cost me like 65 quid or 70 quid, and I'm leaving 30 pounds of it in the ashtray. And I'll smoke pretty much anything.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, I'm not enjoying this.
No, it wasn't great.
And I'm like going, how can I have spent 60 quid on a cigar?
It was crazy.
Like, it's just not very nice. It was bitter, it was strong with no real subtlety.
Harsh.
It was just not nice.
Hated it. No, I mean, I was trying to be polite, but The reality is, yeah, did not like it.
Listen,
Did not like it.
It's not that I'm never going to come on a live stream
I'm not
and say
saying you need to be polite.
it's a bad cigar, because again, there are going to be people who are going to say, I love that cigar, it's a great cigar, and all the rest of it. At the end of the day, it's down to flavour profile, and we see this every week on your live stream when you always badmouth cigars because that's what you like doing, and everyone's like going, oh, what are you talking about? That's a great cigar. Everybody's got their own flavour profile.
No. First of all, the cigars that I badmouth are universally hated. Name one cigar that I've said that I've badmouthed that people enjoy, like really enjoy.
Which camera am I looking at?
That's the camera.
For those of you who tune in every week, every Sunday, you know what I'm going to say. Every week, you badmouth one of the best-selling Cuban cigars.
Just because it sells well doesn't mean it's a good cigar. Cigarettes sell well. They're not great. They don't taste great.
People wouldn't go back and buy that particular cigar for the same price point if they could go anywhere.
People buy Gurkhas.
It's not the same price.
Some of them are more expensive.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I cannot believe.
No. I do not.
I respect that you may not like the cigar yourself.
Terrible.
But you cannot say that the Epi 2 is a bad cigar.
It's a bad cigar.
It's not a
bad cigar. It's objectively a bad cigar, and I'll explain why it's a bad cigar.
Yeah, okay, please do.
It's because it's a nothing cigar.
No,
it's got zero flavor. It's the cigar that you smoke if you don't want to smoke.
If you stopped drinking things like fizzy grape and Barocca, you might actually be able to taste the cigar you're smoking.
It's multivitamins. I'm trying to
It's a health drink. This is a health pastime.
Exactly.
Did you go to the gym today? No, I had a Cohiba and a Barocca.
Exactly.
I feel like I've done 10k.
Exactly. Yoga and a drink.
Brilliant. Yeah. I'm surprised you're not on Mr. Universe. I really am.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Phenomenal. It really is. So listen, I appreciate there are certain cigars that other people like, and I'm like, I just don't get it. It's not for me.
Except for the Epi 2. That's just a dud cigar.
But that Partagas, that was not for me in the slightest.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Please don't be polite, be honest. Okay.
He's a dick.
I should have cut the camera from you at that point. I wish I just pressed the button, But what I really wanted to talk about in this live stream was essentially just going over the year. Talking about some of the things that have happened in the year, some of the interesting things, some of the less interesting things. Actually, there have been some pretty cool things that have happened this year, especially, in the industry. And I wanted to talk a little bit about next year, some of your thoughts and where you think things could go. Because I'm kind of at a loss, honestly. I'm like, I don't know where things are going. It's just so up in the air and so crazy at the moment in Europe with all the legislation, all the tighter rules and everything. But then you've got people investing so much more money into the industry, and I'm like, none of it really seems to make a lot of sense. You've got Habanos going absolutely crazy on producing some of the most expensive and ridiculous cigars, but their biggest market in Europe is going a little bit funny with everything. So, I mean, I think they're going to carry on selling, even if Europe completely bans cigars. I think they're going to, I don't think it's going to cause that much of a problem for them.
Listen, unfortunately, the market, history shows, right? When you're caught in a bubble and you're in the middle of the bubble, you don't realize the music stopped until you're the only person standing around. And unfortunately, because we're talking about a luxury product, sometimes you don't take into account the macroeconomic factors. And the fact remains that cost of living in the UK, and I imagine in Europe as well, is starting to hurt. And you're seeing it. I mean, the data that came out this week, Boxing Day sales and stuff like that, the high street's really hurting. And whether we want to realise it or not, or whether the cigar industry want to realise it or not, it's going to start impacting them. And you're right, there's a lot of money being invested in the cigar industry. New lounges opening up, people buying shares in Habanos, and then like disappearing off the face of the earth. I mean, that guy could be buried under your patio for all we know. I have no idea where he's gone. But, you know, for all we know, there is 25% of Habanos just floating in the ether because that guy's never been seen before, right? or ever since. But at some point in time, the market is really, really going to dry up because people are going to turn around and say, I haven't got 90 quid to spend on a cigar. You know, if I got a £90 a day habit, it's cheaper to take up crack. I mean, seriously. I mean, genuinely. I mean, seriously. I mean, they can't just keep putting the prices up and think that people will continue to buy the product. Especially with the range, and God forbid, I never thought I'd say this in public, with the range of New World cigars that are available that are still, on the whole, very reasonably priced in comparison.
But are they though?
Listen.
In the UK. See, here's the thing. You know, when you look at this is what I think New World importers missed a step on. And that is that when you look at premium, like comparable New World cigar brands to Cuban brands.
Yeah.
We're not talking like just basic, you know, butt end cigars. Because you've got cheap crap cigars from Cuba as well. You've got Guantanamera, you've got Jose El Piedra, you've got Flor de Cano. We're not comparing those. We're talking, you know, global brands, premium brands, high-end brands. When you start pitching that across the New World cigars and you compare the prices, they're not far off. If anything, some of them are actually more expensive.
Well, when you start talking Fuente and stuff like that,
no.
We're
not even talking Fuente. We're talking like, if you look at Oliva, for example, right?
Yeah.
Oliva Serie V Melanio Figurado, 6.5 inch, 52 ring gauge. Sorry, 6 1/8, 52 ring gauge. Virtually identical size to like a Monte 2.
Sure.
It's about the same price.
And how much is it in America?
Exactly.
So
what I'm saying is,
and America isn't like Cuban cigars where you traipse the. In America, you've always got someone coming back from America who's going to pick you up a box.
Right. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in the UK, New World importers had the opportunity to capitalize on the price increase of Cubans and use that as a way of gaining significant market share. Because the price difference could have been so significant that it would have been like, wait, why am I going to buy a Cuban when I can buy this? But when you actually do the comparison, when you actually look at them side by side, the price difference isn't huge. If anything, they're very, very similar.
Yes, but hold on. I sit in St. James's on a regular basis, and I'm fortunate enough to sit there with some really lovely people. Let's be honest, they're not short of a few bob.
No.
Right? You know, these aren't people who are out selling the big issue. They're incredibly successful in their field.
Yeah, they own the big issue.
Right? Yeah. and they sit there smoking Aladino, or they sit there smoking Regis, or they sit there smoking Inca, or they sit there smoking puffin rooms. And the reason they're doing that is they're thinking, well, I smoke 2 or 3 of these a day. And you know what? This is a nice cigar. I don't need it to be the most earth-shattering experience of my life, but I'm enjoying the cigar.
There's a difference there, though. And this is actually serving my point. Aladino, Regis, Inca, all of these are cigar brands that are owned by Cigars, right? Well, not owned specifically, but they have the rights to it in the UK, imported, distributed, and so on. So Cigars are effectively managing the price of that far more effectively. Also, a lot of these brands, they're not on the same level, and I say this with respect. I'm not trying to, you know, say that they're worse cigars, because Aladino are some of my favorite cigars. Regis, you know, the Black Label one, I think they're fantastic. The Puffin cigars for the price, incredible. So this is not a comment on the quality, but we're looking at it as, you know, where they sit in the market in terms of premium level. And they're not really on the level of Fuente, Padron, Oliva, because they haven't been in the industry for that long.
And also, they're not competing for the same market.
Exactly.
Because Fuente and Oliva and Padron, in their own market, as in the States, they are the creme de la creme. They are the top. They are the Rolls Royce of the cigar market in their market.
Yes.
Now, you know, I don't know what the sale figures are over here, but for the kind of money that Padron or Fuente charge, am I ever going to walk into a shop and pick up a Fuente or a Padron over a top Cuban? Am I? Hell.
But this is
it's never going to happen.
But this is exactly what I'm saying, because what I'm trying to say is, a lot of the importers in the UK, I think they missed They misstepped in that area. I think that it wasn't a great decision for them to increase prices of those premium end cigars on the same level as Cubans. That's what I'm saying. Because those cigars, as you mentioned, in America, they're nowhere near the price of what they are here.
No.
Even, in fact, it's less expensive to purchase those cigars in the States, import it into the UK, pay the duties, pay the tax and everything, and it's still about 40% cheaper.
And everybody knows somebody coming back from America. Everybody knows, you know.
Even if you don't know anyone from the States, you can literally go online, purchase from those websites, they will ship it across to the UK, HMRC or whatever, they'll charge you whatever the tax you need to pay. You pay that, you get it delivered, and it's still significantly less expensive than buying from the UK. So it makes you wonder, is that actually the markup, or is that just massive margins?
I don't know. They're probably just trying to play on the market that's here, thinking people are always buying overpriced cigars anyway, so we'll jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, the party will stop.
Yeah.
Because people just don't have that much money to continue
Precisely.
burning.
This is why cigars like Aladino, Regis, and Inca are doing so well, because they're priced more sensibly. They're priced in a manner which makes sense, and that's why they're doing. This is what Aladino does incredibly well. Because one, the cigars are fantastic. Like virtually.
Found a big stalk, by the way.
Oh, for God's sakes!
Don't put the camera on me now, because I'm about to attack.
No. This is a 600. Wait. By the way, guys, this is a 600-pound cigar that this gentleman is doing this to.
I'll get it in a minute, don't worry. I've gone all shy now.
You shy?
I've gone all shy now. It's going to be a good one though when it comes out though. I can build a wigwam with it.
I can't believe you're doing this to that cigar.
It's good though. It's like someone's built a tent in the middle of my cigar. What the hell's there?
Can you leave it alone and just smoke the damn thing?
I've smoked half of the cigar. I've not done anything with it other than smoke it. But now it's annoying me because I've just sort of come across this piece of, this massive piece of 2x4 or whatever it is. It's like, what's going on here?
I wish I could zoom in right now. Oh my God.
See, I told you. That's a bit annoying.
That is ridiculous.
And for those of you who are interested in taking my course, my 5-week course in removing logs from your cigars, please contact me directly and I'll send you a form to fill in. There you go. I feel a lot better now. I feel sort of like relaxed.
That's 60 pounds worth of tobacco right there.
Probably right, yeah.
That's 60 pounds worth of tobacco you just threw away.
You know it's going to smoke very nicely. But big plumes. I get lost behind this plume of smoke.
I've lost my train of thought. What was I? I can't even remember what I was saying.
I was just saying that I think we are approaching an economic bubble, certainly in this country. And the fact is, if they continue to put prices up and they still think they can continue to milk the UK market, I think they're going to be in for a bit of a surprise. And I know there are people out there still buying huge amounts, but I don't think we're that far off from seeing maybe not a similar situation that we saw back in 2008, but we're definitely seeing people starting to hurt. And people are going to have to start making lifestyle choices. And it doesn't mean that I'm saying that everyone's going to have to give up smoking. But I think people are going to... I was with a friend of mine who lives in New York now. Guy's an incredibly successful lawyer. Makes an awful lot of money. And he says to me, Steve, I have 2 meals a day in New York. He says, not that I can't afford a third meal. He says, it's just a matter of principle. I'm not prepared to go to the local delicatessen, buy a cream cheese and smoked salmon bagel and be charged $21 for it.
Dear God.
He says, it's not that I can't afford it, it's just I'm not prepared to pay that kind of money. And we are getting to the point where we're going in to a cigar shop and we'll go, we went in today and you were like, oh, prices have gone up again. And you're looking at cigars that you were buying for 15, 20, maybe 25 pounds 4 or 5 years ago, now being double that amount. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Agreed.
And if you're smoking 1 to 2 cigars a day, and I smoke a cigar every single day, so that is 7 cigars. That's £350 a week. 1,400 quid.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
A month.
And
that's 30 grand a year of taxed income. 30 grand a year. You want me to put a match to £30,000?
I mean, that's literally what we're doing, isn't it?
Before I even light the match, my wife would have killed me with a baseball bat.
But here's the interesting thing. I mean, I've been looking into this. I've been looking into the figures of the UK market, and I wrote some articles about it, which I've been told annoyed a few people, but
Unlike you.
but it's just the facts. What do you want me to do, right? And I even spoke to Roy from Davidoff about it, and he said, yeah, that looks about right. But he was explaining a few points, but he wasn't annoyed at anything. Roy from Davidoff, I love this guy. Lovely person. He's always been very supportive as much as he possibly can. And I had a conversation with him about it, and he had a few points that he made, but he wasn't making counterpoints. He was just saying, you should also consider this, this, and this. But what you said is what it is. But the market share of Cuban cigars in the UK is incredible. It's 80%.
Right.
80% of the market. In fact, I spoke to most of the retailers. I spoke to many of the retailers in the UK, and I spoke to some of the biggest retailers in the UK. And they said that their market share is even greater than what the overall UK market share is when it comes to Cubans. One of the biggest retailers in the UK turned around and said, about 85-90% Cuban in terms of value.
Right.
Number of cigars sold, closer to 50-50. However, the money is still on Cuban cigars by a massive amount. So New World cigars are actually losing market share year on year.
Well, now, hold on. That's not correct, because you've just turned around and said the value is 90%, but the market share is 50-50.
Now, in terms of number of cigars.
In terms of cigars sold. Now, if the New World producers are happy with their profit margins, in other words, they're doing exactly what you said they should be doing. In other words, let's put out a lot of product, and sell it at a level that we are happy with, then they're absolutely happy with that. At some point in time, this will bite the Cubans on the arse. At some point in time, they will price themselves out of their own market.
But they've actually gained market share.
Well, no. They've increased their profits. They've increased their profits. As you said, they've gone 50-50. Now,
no, they've been, so, around 2020, the market was around, it's still around 60-40 in terms of, sorry, it wasn't 50-50, it's 60-40. In terms of number of cigars sold, it's around 60-40. Before 2020, it was around 60-40. Around 2020, it went to about 50-50. It's now gone back up to about 60-40 in favor of Cubans. In terms of value, it was around 65% Cubans and about 35% New Worlds. And then it's changed now, where it's now 80% Cubans and about 20% Cubans overall. With the retailers, it's about 80%, some say 85-90%. When it comes to Cubans in terms of value. So the number of cigars sold, that's a valuable metric. And this is something I spoke to Roy about. And he said it's a valuable metric internally because it allows them to plan more effectively for where they want to put.
But you also have to ask yourself, who is buying those Cuban cigars? In other words, is it, as it has been for many years now, people coming over to the UK, mostly from Asia and the Middle East, and buying up the cigars, not necessarily for smoking every single day like you and I do, taking them back and building up these huge collections, right? And what's happening to the everyday smoker? Now, for many years, and I've been smoking cigars for 31 years now, and it would never have crossed my mind to buy anything other than Cuban. It never would have. But even I now keep a box of Puffin Room cigars in my humidor because
they're nice though. They're actually really nice.
For that price, it's annoying how pleasant they are for that price. You actually get annoyed. You go, how can you produce a cigar that I don't want to enjoy this cigar?
How is Mitchell making any money on these cigars when they cost so little?
And it's like, okay, it's not a cigar I'm going to smoke every day. It's not. But every now and again, I might be looking at the watch thinking, I haven't got that long. I may not be able to get all the way through this. I'm just gonna have. I don't care if I only get halfway through it.
Yeah,
It costs me
yeah,
15 quid. So you know, I don't mind chucking £7.50 on the floor, but I do mind chucking 25 quid on the floor.
Yes,
You know? And suddenly you have a box. Now that is something that would never have crossed my mind. Also, it doesn't sit well with me that there is even a huge disparity, even in the UK market, on some of the pricing. You know, there is a big discrepancy between the retailers. You know, you can say, yes, we can always say, oh, we've got people who travel around the world and you can pick them up in Baku for a third of the price. You can pick them up in Gibraltar for a third of the price. And someone goes, oh, I found this shop in, I don't know, like, you know, Oompa Loompa land, and they're banging them out for nothing. That's fine. But when you can find the same product in the UK, EMS, Hunters and Frankham, and it's £10 difference, that doesn't sit well with me.
Well, I'm not going to go into that I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to talk to you about that privately. But so, I mean, I know what we're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about as well. Nah, I'm not going to discuss that. I'm not going to discuss
Mate,
that.
I'm not paid by any of these people. You are. You were the one who invited me on here.
But in all fairness, right? Actually, no, I am going to discuss it, right? Because the reality is, most of the retailers in the UK have their prices quite similar. If you look at Havana House and Cigars, the prices are actually quite similar. But if you look at the other retailer that we're talking about, first of all, the owner, lovely dude. I love the guy. Whenever I see him, I actually like spending time with him.
Yeah.
I enjoy hanging out with him, smoking cigars, because he's a lovely, lovely dude. But even you saw what the wholesale prices were and what he's selling them at. So
he's doing a favour to the cigar smoking
I'm just
community.
I'm just saying the prices that he's putting it at are just a little bit ridiculous.
Listen, again, if he's happy with his profit margin, if he can pay his mortgage and he can take his family on holiday and he's happy with the standard of living that he is,
No.
and he feels that
he's not trying to make a ton of money on cigars because, you know, fortunately for him, and, you know, well done to the guy, his family's done very well. They've got enough money to be able to, like, be comfortable or whatever. And you know what? Fair play. Very happy for him. Genuinely happy for him. But if you talk to him, because I've talked to him a fair few times about this, right? And he goes, I don't know, you know, I just kind of, whatever the price is, you know, because he's not really paying attention to it.
God bless him is all I can say. God bless him.
And once again, genuinely love this dude because he's such a sweet person. And I really, honest to God, love smoking a cigar with him.
Yeah.
So even at the Boys Deal, when I saw him at the Boys Deal, right? It was me, it was Hochi from Habanos, and we just stood there. We were just smoking cigars. He walks in and he was smoking something else, right? And, you know, Hochi looks at me and goes, no. You can't stand around us and smoke what you got. So Hochi looks at me and goes, no, I know, I got it. So I reached into my bag, pulled out an Epicure 3, and I said, Sam, shit, I've said his name now. Sam, listen, I'm sorry, but, you know, Hochi's here, Hochi's rules, you got to smoke a Cuban. And he's like, yeah, you don't have to tell me twice. So he cut it and he smoked it. And we just had a great time just talking to the guy. I love this dude. Genuinely love this dude, right? But yeah, in terms of pricing, I spoke to him about it. He goes, I don't know. I'm just doing what I do.
Good luck to him.
Yeah,
good luck to him.
I wish him all the best.
You know,
but he's not. But he's not pricing it. He's not pricing the cigars. Actually pricing them.
Listen, don't get me wrong. He's not trading out of prime London real estate. He's not having to pay London wages. He's not having to pay Westminster rates. He's not having to put up with all that kind of stuff, right? He's trading out of the back arse of nowhere, right? So on that basis, thanks very much indeed. If he makes £5 on a cigar, he can go out and buy himself a house. You know, where he is. You know, that's just the way it is.
No, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, well done to the guy. And I'm very pleased for him, and the fact that, you know, price matching exists in the UK has worked out very well for me personally. So thank you to this individual whom I've already named inadvertently, which I shouldn't have. But I'm not gonna.
This is the problem when you bring somebody in.
Do you know what I mean?
Normally you go through that. Oh, I shouldn't really say, but should I? Oh, I'll say it anyway. It's like, oh, bugger.
No, it's fine. I've said it already, so it's fine. But like I said, I love this guy. So whenever I see him, he's such a good vibe.
Yeah, I've got
that-
another one by the way.
Nah. You deserve it, man. What do you? How much is this cigar again?
Well, I didn't pay it. Now it's about £600. I'm having fun. Leave me alone. Just enjoying myself.
Just chew it on. Let me see if there's any comments going on.
Hey?
Why are Cubans a luxury product? They used to cost so little on the system's rig. Oh, that's an interesting comment, actually.
What?
Why are Cuban cigars considered a luxury product? And I mean, I would compare it to, let's say. So first of all, I'm going to give my opinion, and then I want to know what you think.
Okay.
So, in my humble opinion, I would say that there are only two luxury brands in the cigar industry, and that's Cuban cigars. Not all of them, but in general, I would say Cuban cigars are a luxury, and Davidoff cigars are luxury.
Okay.
And the reason why I think Davidoff is a luxury brand is because the brand itself is operating as a luxury. They're one of the only few brands that I can think of that when they left and they started producing cigars in the Dominican and outside of Cuba,
Yeah.
first of all, they started in Cuba. So they're not a new world brand. They are old world in that sense. And secondly, when they left, they did not compare themselves to Cuba. They did the one thing that many other brands didn't do, which is put themselves next to Cuba and compare themselves. They just went off and said, no, we're Davidoff.
Yep.
And they just carried on operating like, we're Davidoff. I don't know what they're doing. We're doing what we're doing. They never compared themselves to Cuba as far as I'm aware. And even now, they never use the branding of Cuba. They never kind of hark back to this, oh yeah, we used to be a Cuban brand and this and that. They don't really brand it like that. They brand it as Davidoff.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion, I would say Cuban cigars and Davidoff are the two only luxury brands in the industry. Fuente, I wouldn't classify that as a luxury brand, not in the same way. Maybe in the future they could be. Padron, I don't classify as a luxury brand, despite the fact that their cigars are some of the best cigars on the market. And then I can't really think of many other brands that I would put in as a luxury. In fact, no, the only two other brands that I would say are close to being a luxury are Fuente and Padron, but I don't think they're there yet. So, but I'd love to know what you think.
It's very interesting. Like, when we say what's luxury and what's not luxury, too many people instantly think if it's not luxury, it must be bad.
Yeah. Which is a weird thing, because that's not the case.
Now, let's take it out of the cigar world. Let's go to the world of cooking. Culinary cooking, right? And the highest accolade you can get if you are a chef is 3 Michelin stars.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. Now, there are chefs in history who have achieved that and then turned around and said, have them back. I don't need it. I don't need your Michelin stars anymore for people to know that I'm a good cook. I've achieved... The first person ever to give back his Michelin stars, I think, was Marco Pierre White. But I think there's been, I mean, you're all welcome to Google this, but I think you will find there's been at least 3, if not 4 chefs who have handed back their 3rd Michelin star because they're saying, I don't need the extra pressure of being watched and judged the whole time to produce something that I know is truly excellent.
Yeah.
And I'm happy operating at the level that I'm at, and I will set my own standards. Now, Padron and Fuente, they operate predominantly in the US. Which is a totally different market to the European market. And luxury is a European concept. And we've discussed this at great length before. The American market is a consumerist market.
Yeah.
Right? You have so many cigar shops in America. And everyone wants to be able to go into those cigar shops and buy a Fuente or a Padron. They have to appear on every single shelf.
Yeah.
So therefore, there have to be huge amounts of supply.
Actually, Padron limit their production to about 6 million cigars a year, which is tiny.
That sounds like an awful lot to me.
It's not in the grand scheme of things.
Well, when you say in the grand scheme of things, what? In terms of the size of the US market?
In terms of even, I mean, Cubans will produce more than 50 million.
That's across the whole portfolio.
Yeah, but still, well, yeah.
That's the whole portfolio, even at its peak.
Okay, well, Cohiba will be approximately, I'd say Cohiba may be similar in size to Padron in terms of number of cigars produced.
Okay, but that's for the whole world outside of America. That's the entire planet outside of America.
Right, but the US market is the biggest market in the world. It's more than 50% of the world's market.
Is it that? But it's big because people smoke because it's cheap.
Yeah, but Padron isn't necessarily cheap. Padron is still a $30 cigar in the States.
Yeah.
So it's not
But they're
inexpensive.
not all smoking Padrons, are they?
No. But so
I mean, we did this last time. We looked at that website in America,
yeah.
and they had something like 500 different. Do you remember we looked up that
Yeah,
website?
yeah.
There were 500 different brands of
Yeah,
cigars.
yeah,
They
yeah.
stocked
And that's not
500
even-
brands.
500 brands. That's not
Yeah.
even like the number of cigars per brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but this is just a clarification I wanted to make about Padron. Padron is, in fact, very limited in production. It's small. It's a small batch. It's a very small production because 6 million a year isn't a lot. It's actually a small number of cigars.
Right.
When you factor in, the market share and all that blah blah blah, and the demand behind it. However, the reason I think that Padron is not a luxury brand is because they keep harking back to Cuba.
Right.
And even if you look at their branding, it's not their branding isn't, their emblem isn't the country of Nicaragua, it's Cuba. And you think, wait a minute, your brand is entirely based on the fact that you are Nicaraguan puros, as in like,
Right.
we only use Nicaraguan tobacco. Look, I get that your heritage is Cuba, I get that. And I completely appreciate that. And I completely appreciate the fact that you want to celebrate your Cuban heritage. Understand that. But that inadvertently is comparing you to Cuban cigars, which inherently means that you cannot be a luxury brand in the same way.
Well, that's one of the laws of luxury, is that there's no comparison.
Exactly. So this is why I know it's a bit of a shit stick, because it's like, well, it's their heritage. It's literally where they're from. Fact.
I don't know. Listen, I don't follow Padron or Fuente often enough to see what their advertising is. I remember when I was writing my thesis, so many of the New World cigars, and ironically, the interview I quoted the most was actually Gurkha cigars. There was a guy, one of the
Kaizad.
Yeah, and he went on some massive news channel and was being interviewed, giving all the reasons why his cigars were better than Cuban, because he blended tobaccos from all over the world and all that. And you're thinking, don't you understand? The very fact that you are comparing yourself to Cuban cigars means that you are not luxury. But that doesn't mean you're... Look, Ralph Lauren isn't luxury.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's a bad
No,
product.
they're great. It's a great brand.
Lexus is not a bad car.
Yeah.
But it's not luxury.
Yeah. I think this is the key thing, which you highlighted. By the way, this is gorgeous.
It's good, isn't it?
Oh my
It's just getting
God.
better and better.
It just hit me there, right?
Yeah.
I just took a puff and I was, what the hell?
Yeah.
Sorry, it just interrupted me. That last puff I took was just wow.
This really is the epitome of the scene from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the 3-course bubblegum.
Yeah.
It really is a proper
yeah.
3-course meal.
I just got a massive hit of chocolate.
Yeah, it just develops all the way. And the first third is different to the middle, which is different to the last third. And you really are being taken on a journey with this. And can I, in any way, shape or form, say to anybody, go out and buy one of these because it's good value at 600 quid? It really isn't.
No.
And you'd have to be absolutely insane. But sitting here now, smoking this with you, I couldn't think of anywhere better for it to be enjoyed. It really, really
Sweet.
is
That's the
good.
nicest thing you've ever said about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But there again, I can't feel my toes or my fingers. Either, so
It's not that cold
this
anymore.
could possibly
It's
be
not
the
that
last cigar I ever smoked before they have to amputate some of my extremities.
Because you got frostbite.
Exactly. That's brilliant.
Got the heater on right there.
You've got 2 windows open.
I can't even feel it.
There's a snowman on the door looking in, going, it's cold in there.
It's not.
I'm going to go outside to warm up.
It's not that cold.
Thank God I haven't dropped any of this ash on me, because I reckon if I put I'm going to go up in the fire. It's going to be people emailing. Watch that YouTube channel. That geezer set alight. 1 minute he was there, next minute he was just gone.
Just spontaneously caught fire.
That's it. Unbelievable. This is the only time this year I'm putting this suit on. I only put it on once a year.
I love it. I love it.
You know.
Yeah.
And but it's, you know, it's seasonal. It's the right.
It still
time.
fits.
Huh?
It still fits as well.
Still fits. I'm breathing in. But yeah, it still fits.
You're breathing
in. Thank God this is only for an hour and a bit. Any longer.
The buttons are going to fly out.
People, thank God there's no one there, like Lisa and I. And no, it's great. You know, it was tailor-made. Was it hell? But, meanwhile,
Tailor-made by TK Maxx.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, some guy in a sweatshop in, like, you know, Wuhan or something like that. I don't know.
Ground zero suit.
But they don't make, no, you know, they just don't make them like they used to. That's the way.
Probably
it
a
is.
good thing. Probably a good thing in some
Mate,
things.
I think this. Listen, if I was walking through the streets of London in the middle of June wearing this thing, maybe. But the week of Christmas, I think it's only fair that you get into the spirit. And let's be honest, God Almighty, we need a laugh at the moment. There's not much to laugh about in the world, and this is the only time of the year when you walk through the streets of London where people actually smile at you. You know, if people smile at you, the rest of you think, Christ, cover your watch. Check your wallet, look behind you. Christmas is the only time when people actually smile in London.
People tend to be, I've noticed that. People do tend to be quite a bit nicer around Christmas time. Maybe it's because, you know, people are looking forward to the holidays and just being able to spend time with the family and just relax a bit. I do like this time of the year. I really do. It's just a bit nice, isn't it? It's just a bit
nice. Everyone sort of winds down. Everybody knows that they've got, you know, a bit of time off.
And you know, when you wear something more appropriate, you know, you feel a bit better. A little bit of wool, a little bit of cashmere, you're going to be fine.
You do understand if I flick the ash at you, you're going to go up as well, right?
No, it's pure cashmere. You won't.
Pure cashmere. Ooh, sponsored by.
But the lining of the trousers is polyester.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. It's
Take the boy out of Batley.
But this is definitely plastic. I'm kidding. This is leather too.
Pleather.
Pleather.
That's it.
No, I tried it. I tested it with a latex knot.
Did you?
Yeah.
So yours is a lot more. Your chair's more comfortable than mine, though.
No,
it's got a bit more
that's my
support.
favorite chair.
Really?
Yeah, this one I hate.
So the fact proper chair. This one I feel like I'm just sinking lower every 2 minutes.
Why did you pick that chair? I prefer that one anyway.
Oh, you told me to sit here. You got me to change 6 times while you were plugging in this. What people don't understand is just how many cameras and wires there are here. I mean, it's going to be Wednesday before I get out of here, plugging all these wires.
No, but it looks all right, doesn't it, on screen? Like it's right there. You know,
that's great.
It's all right, doesn't it?
Yeah, brilliant. That's all. Any more comments?
Let's see. Well, we haven't finished the point that we made about luxury.
Look at that.
Oh, there are a fair few comments. I don't
Look at that. That's a good one, that. Look at that.
For the love of God, Stephen.
Oh, that gives me such a
Can someone in the comment, like, how come no one in the comments is like giving him a hard time?
You know why?
About the fact that
because they see talent. They see someone who's a master of his art of removing.
Right, let me quickly run through some of the comments that we've got, because we don't have, unfortunately, we don't have Alex on behind the cameras today, because normally we'd have Alex there. But of course, it's Christmas time. He wants to spend time with his family. He's not going to be pissed about.
Although we're now 3 days into Christmas, they're probably getting ready to kill each other.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Now that's a 2x4 twig.
See?
Yeah.
See?
So, remove tax theft. Cigars will be obsolete in the future, unfortunately, because and let's see. No mention of Shenzi, his Habano steak, or the impact on pricing and distribution, skipping third in the punch bowl. No.
We have no idea who that is.
Shenzi is the
We have
Cambodian.
no idea who that is. I'm sorry, we are not at liberty.
No. Actually, I'm going to get into this subject. So
I thought you were told you weren't allowed to.
No, I'm allowed to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm allowed to talk about whatever I want.
Ooh.
Yeah. So now that is a suit.
Thank you very much indeed.
Don't encourage him.
And the waistcoat. Just remember the matching waistcoat, tie. Hope you all noticed that I made the effort to wear the tie as well.
Show them the socks.
Socks.
Can you? I don't think
I'm
we
not
can.
sure you can see the socks, but I'm
you
wearing
can't see the
Christmas socks as well. You know, fully in.
So, got a bunch of comments talking about Shenzi, his Habanos take and its impact on pricing and distribution. Honestly, I don't think that's going to have any impact on Habanos, really. Because the reality is, I know we were talking about luxury, but I think we might have to skip over that subject for a little bit. But because we've got a few comments talking about Shenzi and they're saying, oh, you're not talking about it. No, I'm fine talking about Shenzi. So Shenzi is the gentleman. I say gentleman. Shenzi is the dude who is currently on the run, and he's had a lot of his assets seized, and he has ownership. He owns a company that owns a company that owns a company that owns a piece of Habanos. It's like a bunch of shell companies that run through. When you look through it, like, this is a complete nightmare of a web system that you have.
And no one knows where he is.
No one knows where he is.
And everyone's looking for him.
Interpol are looking for him, the UK is looking for him, the States are looking for him, everyone's looking for him. It's like, where is this
so
guy?
they'd love to know the fact that he's in your kitchen right now.
He's just cooking eggs for us.
Another coffee, please, Kinsey. 2 sugars, mate. How hard can it be? Yes, we're in Batley. Just so that you know. I'm going home now. Bye.
They're gonna come find me. No,
I
promise he's not here.
Interpol will come flying through the door looking for him. They'll take one step in and go, fucking hell, it's cold. I'm not going near there. Just let the guy live in.
It's not that cold.
Guy will come out wrapped in a sheepskin. Thank God you caught me.
They put like that foil blanket around him. You know, just pat him on his head like, are you okay, mate? Yeah. So this dude, currently on the run, and a lot of people are concerned about the impact it's going to have on Cuban cigars. And there's a couple of things that you could potentially assume. But the biggest, I think the biggest misconception that a lot of people have is that they think that Habanos is the company that owns the farms, that owns the tobacco, that owns the rollers and all that kind of stuff. Habanos doesn't really own anything.
Well, they're the distributors, and they're nothing more than a marketing company.
Paperwork.
Yeah.
It's paperwork. Habanos owns the rights to the brands, which can be taken away from them at any point, because Cuba is a communist nation, and Tabacuba is actually the company that owns everything. Tabacuba also owns 50% of Habanos.
There's a lot of people who have got shares in Habanos.
Yeah. Tabacuba owns 50% of Habanos. The other 50% is owned by a bunch of different companies. Tabacalera is part of it as well. And Tabacalera owns half of Habanos, and Tabacalera is owned by this company, and that company is owned by another company, and he all traces back to Shenzi.
No. Tabacalera, at the end of the day, is the Cuban government.
No. Tabacalera is a Spanish company.
Really? No,
yeah.
Because Cuban, unless it's changed since...
it's Tabacuba. So you used
Tabacuba.
Yeah.
Any company in Cuba had to be owned 50% by the government. So when Imperial Tobacco were the 50% shareholders in Habanos, the other 50% was owned by the Cuban government.
Which is Tabacuba.
Right, which is Tabacuba,
yeah.
right?
So Tabacuba is the government, in essence.
Yeah.
They own all the farms, all the rollers, all the tobacco, everything, effectively. Anything tangible, anything physical is owned by Tabacuba, which is essentially the Cuban government.
Yeah.
Tabacalera is the Spanish company, which is either allied or imperial, one of them anyway. But Tabacalera is based in Spain. And Tabacalera is owned by a company, which is owned by a company, which is owned by a company. And it traces back to Shenzi, and Shenzi effectively owns Tabacalera, or a big chunk of Tabacalera, and Tabacalera owns the other half of Habanos. But it's like a bunch of different companies all put together, and Tabacalera is part of it. So Habanos is just the paperwork. So at any point, Tabacalera could just turn around and say, oh, we've ceased operating with Habanos. We no longer operate them. We no longer recognize them. We have now created this new company called, Habanos 2.0. And this is now the company that owns all of our brands. And they can do that whenever they want. So if things do heat up to a point where it becomes untenable, where it becomes, difficult for them to operate and manage.
I am somewhat amazed that the Cubans put so much thought into this when they have so many other important issues on their front door.
They make a lot of money from it.
At the end of the day, the people, unfortunately, in Cuba are still starving. Unfortunately, there is huge amounts of civil unrest. You have America basically taking on Venezuela,
Which has caused a massive impact.
Huge, massive.
No, it already has. It already has. It's had a massive impact on the fuel imports in Cuba, because Cuba had a very they had a very firm relationship with Venezuela. Cuba supplied a lot of doctors, and in return they received a ton of oil from Venezuela. So that embargo is causing a massive issue for Cuba. So I don't know what things are going to be like in Havana for the festival. I'm hoping that things are relatively okay. I'm hoping that the government in Cuba are able to, figure something out. But this is obviously having a massive impact there. But the point that I make, because I don't really know all the geopolitical stuff going on there, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really read up on that. But the point I'm making is, based on many of the conversations that I've had with some of the senior people around, Habanos and Tabacuba and so on, it doesn't really impact them. They could just ignore the whole Shanxi share, and it would make no difference to them at all, because they can just continue operating without any, there's no, who are they going to answer to, really?
No one.
They own all of it.
Well, everything's produced in their country.
Everything, literally, except for the bands.
The band. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
They may have to start printing up, get school children out with their crayons to start making the Cohiba bands and stuff like that. But other than that, I can't really see there being much of an impact.
No.
I think the only impact that Cuba's going to have is externally.
Yeah.
I think everything outside of the country, whether it be economic slowdown in other countries or the impact of America taking on and trying to cripple Venezuela as well, that is going to have an impact. And it's going to get to a point whereby the country's close to collapse. It really, I mean, I haven't been back to Cuba since 2018. And the times that I went, the people are just so amazing. They really are. I mean, first of all, they're so intelligent.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, what a great place to just go and speak to people.
Yeah.
These people
You do not see that in so many other countries, where you could just walk around and the regular folk are just actually very intelligent.
Everyone's educated.
Yeah.
Everyone's got degrees. Everyone's got,
everyone's a doctor there.
They're worldly. They've got an understanding of what's going on around in the world. And you can have, and I'll tell you what, you enjoy your cigars there so much more because you get to shut up and listen. You get to hear things and you get to hear a different perspective. But unfortunately, these people have got to learn. They've got to live. They've got to be able to eat. I'll never forget when we were staying in a hotel. On the second time I went with my wife, when I was presenting to Habanos, and there was a storm. And we came out the next day and half the houses were missing because the storm had basically just destroyed the houses. Now, these houses were only being kept up by like a solitary nail.
Yeah.
But this was people's houses.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, well, there doesn't seem to be anybody coming forward to help rebuild.
Apparently, no. I mean, one of my friends, she, she's from Cuba. She lives in Cuba. And she's fortunate enough to have a relatively good income there. And she's a lovely person. I have a lot of time for her. Whenever I go to Havana, we hang out. We're literally just as friends. She's, honest to God, just a good friend. And we spend a lot of time together because she kind of shows me around some other places. And I was talking to her about this. I said, well, if a hurricane happens, what's going to happen? Because, well, the house will get blown over. And I'm like, well, what do you do? What do you mean, what do we do? We just rebuild it. And I was like the resilience was just because she's got, when we talk about the problems that we generally have, it kind of just puts things into perspective a little bit, because I kind of think, oh, well, I don't think I need to worry about my house being blown over like that. And she's, for her, it's like, well, yeah, just carry on. And it's like,
there's very few places in the world where a property in Havana is probably worth more than a house in Britain, but if it was going to be the case, it would be Batley. So it's like, you know, to build a house in Havana's probably costs more than it would be to build out here.
First, you know what the worst thing is? I just got a comment, right, from someone. And he's an absolute twat for saying this, right? He said he's actually from Bradford.
Mate, you're getting dissed by Bradford. Mate, I don't know who you are, but I love you. You're my new best friend. Bury him.
I hate this guy. I don't know who he is, but I hate him.
Guy's probably living in a tent in the middle of the field thinking, thank God I'm not in Batley.
He goes, wait, you guys are based in Batley? No way.
No, I'm not in Batley. Do I sound like I'm from Batley?
Hey.
No, I'm not from Batley.
And then he goes,
He's from Batley.
He literally said he's actually from Bradford. First of all, fuck you, mate. I've not been roasted like that in a while, you know.
It's brilliant. Like,
Oh,
Batley's
good.
great because you can just open your doors and windows. There's bugger all to steal it. So you open your doors and the windows in the hope the burglars will bring something in. When they come in to try and rob, they realise there's nothing in. You hope something falls out their pocket. So they, oh great, we've managed to find 3 sweet wrappers that we didn't have before.
Listen, first of all, yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Just saying. You know.
That's the only comeback I've got.
Brilliant. Catchy. Really, really
I
catchy.
can't believe he said that. I'm so...
That's brilliant. That's just made my day. That in itself.
Oh, that was a beautiful roast. I hate him.
Well, we had a lovely afternoon in the shop in Leeds.
Mm.
We smoked one of your favourite cigars, which was really, really nice.
2019.
That's the year of the cigar, not how long we spent in the cigar shop.
Yeah.
Oh God, we've been in there 6 years.
2019, that cigar.
It was beautiful.
Do you know what? That cigar ages really well, doesn't it?
Listen, I can't remember the last time I picked up one of those cigars and it wasn't lovely, but it was really, really
Yeah,
special.
I really lucked out with that cigar. So, it wasn't. Where was I? I think I was in Paris or something, right? And Maisie just sends me a message. Maisie doesn't like just randomly send me messages to one of them. I'm like, the hell? And she's like, you got to see this. I'm like, what? And she shows me a box, and someone had put the smoking, you know, harmful and all that bullshit tag on the back where the stamp is. So I'm like, okay, you know, you're showing me the harmful sticker. What am I looking at? Because no, you idiot. Watch this. And she lifted the sticker and it just said 2019. So I'm like, okay, what's that? And she goes, new box has just come in. You might want this one.
Wow.
And then I was like, oh, please put that away from me. So she put it to the side. And then when I got back, I bought that box.
I mean,
because...
how the hell do they get a delivery from 2000? I mean, how do they randomly...
Right?
Like, everything else is like, literally, like, you're smoking a newborn baby nowadays. Like,
No,
literally.
and the EMS tag on that, so the EMS tag on it was 2024. So Hunters had probably pulled it out last year and thought, oh, we forgot about this.
Yeah.
Put a tag on it. Yeah. Put a tag on it, sent it to Cigars, and then it must have stayed in Kingsgate or something for a little bit. Maisie placed an order for, you know, a new box of Juan Lopez because I've just been smoking through them. And that arrived and I was like, nope, that's mine. So yeah, I bought the whole box, and they're smoking fantastic. And then the Vegas Robena that I gave you,
Yeah.
that one, oh my god, how nice does that smell?
Beautiful.
Right? That's one of the most nicest smelling Vegas Robenas I've ever seen, ever smelled. And even the wrapper leaf just looks gorgeous. 2022 box, again, I just kind of, you know when you just buy something online from Cigars, and then you kind of like just fingers crossed, like, please, 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 don't be 2025. Don't be freaking...
Comes through 2027. Like, what? The leaves are just there.
Yeah. So you're just like begging to the gods of cigars, like, please don't be July 2025 or whatever. And when that arrived, it said 2022. I was like, oh my god, it's incredible. So
I was
another
amazed
one.
though by the range of cigars that they had in the Leeds store. I mean, amazing. They had Robenas, they had not only the Unicos, but they also had the Formosa as well.
Yeah.
Which again, I don't even think they've got in London at the moment.
No, I mean, you know, I think Maisie does a fantastic job. You know, she learned a lot working with Ray, and now, you know, in terms of cigars, she's obviously built a great deal of experience with that, and she does a fantastic job. And the selection that she has, honestly, fantastic. So I'm always happy when I go into that store. One, it's my local store, so for me, you know, I'm a little biased in favor of it.
How many other stores are there of that caliber in Leeds?
There's a bigger store called Smoke King. Sorry, I'm cutting to you while I'm talking. There's a bigger store called Smoke King, which is in Otley, but it's in like the middle of nowhere. So and they don't have a sampling lounge. So going there is not the same. And Smoke King, I think, is better as an online business, although they do have a fantastic store with like 2 humidors, one for Cuba and one for New World. But I think they operate predominantly online. They don't really focus on that in-store experience in the same way. So as much as you could go there and smoke a cigar outside, you know, in the winter, I don't particularly want to do that.
Right.
But their online store is fantastic. In the city centre, there's only one, which is Cigars.
So, you know, they've pretty much got the monopoly, whereby in London, especially, I mean, the rate of growth in the cigar scene in London really is phenomenal. It really is. But it really does help when you have staff who are knowledgeable, not only in cigars, but in hospitality as well.
Yeah.
You know, and we do see a real diverse group in London. You've got people who are knowledgeable, not necessarily particularly friendly. You've got other lounges which are incredibly friendly, but not particularly knowledgeable.
See, I prefer those.
So do I.
I prefer those. I don't mind. I don't mind if staff, but this is because we've come to a stage. We know what we want. Yeah. We know what it is. We can walk into a cigar store. I don't need a recommendation from you. I already know what I'm gonna gravitate towards, what I'm gonna purchase myself. So I'm fine. I think for a lot of other people who are, you know, relatively beginners, maybe they may want to go to somewhere where the staff are a little bit more educated, or, you know, have a little bit more experience and a little bit more knowledge when it comes to cigars. But for me, if it's friendly, that's all I want. I don't care about the knowledge that the staff have. It's like, how friendly is the lounge? Oh, it's very friendly? Great, no problem. I'll come here.
Absolutely. I mean, it left a real bitter taste in my mouth when I went to a certain lounge in London, and I just got confronted with attitude. Now, I know the owner and I know him to be a very nice man, but his staff were just rude. And I just left the cigar on the table and said, you know what, keep it, it's fine. Now, I don't believe that the market is buoyant enough that anyone can afford to let a couple hundred quid walk out the door. You know, as I said to you last week, I walked into City of London Cigars, my first ever visit there. I was blown away.
It's great, isn't it? It's great.
The lounge is gorgeous.
Yeah.
The lounge is gorgeous.
It's one of my favourite places to visit.
Honestly, no disrespect to the people there. I'm not sure they know which end of a cigar to light. Genuinely. You want to turn around and go, no, you want to take it out the tube before you cut it. You want to take it out, no, other side, other way. The bit that hasn't, right? But they were so friendly. They couldn't do enough for you.
Yeah.
And, you know, the cigars were reasonably priced. I had a really nice hour and a half in there. And I thought, I'll come back here.
Same.
I will come back here. You know, if I'm in the city, I will come. And it's that part of the city that I needed to be in, Liverpool Street, round there. You know, don't get me wrong, I'll always favour cigars in the city if I'm that end of the city, because it's not close by. But I was just really somewhat surprised. It's the first time I've been into a lounge for a very long time and been surprised just how nice people were.
It was lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was very friendly. The clientele were unbelievably diverse.
Yeah. See, that's actually, so obviously I will go to, my favourite store in London to go to is Cigar St. James. That's my favourite store to go to.
Is it nice?
It's where you live. It's your second address. If I need to send mail to you, it's better if I send it there.
It's not as much as I used to, but yes, I have been known to frequent it.
But that's my favourite store because that's where all my friends are. That's where Mitchell is. You know, it's It's one of the only places in London that has an actual vibe. In my opinion, I think it's got the best vibe when it comes to cigar lounges and cigar stores. My favorite spot.
For those of you who have never been, I have to say, for those of you old enough to remember it, it is as close to a scene from the TV program Cheers as you will get in a cigar lounge. Like, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
And when somebody walks into the shop, hey, so-and-so's here, and straight away the banter is in, and it's really friendly, and everybody knows everybody, and if you walk in and no one knows who you are,
you'll come out with a friend.
Exactly.
Without a doubt.
You're included into the conversation straight away. Doesn't matter who you are, you will have everything ripped out.
You have no choice but to make a friend there.
Absolutely. If you want to go for a quiet smoke, that is not the place to go.
No. Go JJ.
Yeah.
JJ Fox is actually a lovely spot if you just want a quiet smoke. I don't know if you disagree or not, but for me, I think JJ Fox, their lounge, you can sit there and just enjoy a quiet cigar.
The only problem I have with JJ Fox, and I've had this with you before, although I smoke a lot of cigars, I'm married to a wonderful woman who detests cigar smoke. And you come out of JJ Fox's, oh mate, do you reek. Because there's absolutely no ventilation in that lounge at all, unless you sit by the window. Now, I know you love sitting by an open window, but unless it's 23 degrees outside, I don't want to die of hypothermia just for the sake of having a cigar. But you come out and you absolutely reek. You really do. But if you want to go in there and just have a quiet cigar,
great spot.
You know, but again, I'm not sure they necessarily want to sell themselves. Come to our lounge, the only place that's always empty.
No, but it's not empty though. It's not empty though. Whenever I go there, there's always a good number of people there. But I like that spot if I just want a quiet cigar. But 9 times out of 10, I don't want a quiet cigar. 9 times out of 10, I want to go to Cigar St. James. However, in the instance when Cigars St. James is closed, which is generally after 6 o'clock during the week, I can't go to City of London because that's closed as well.
Right.
I don't want to go to a hotel. I'll go to City of London.
I mean, if you want somewhere genuinely quiet, like you want it somewhere quiet smoke, go to the Ritz.
No.
It's like the only thing that ever bothers you there is the tumbleweeds going on. Like,
that's not my. It's not for me. It's not for me. That is one place which I find it's too fancy for me.
Yeah, for you it would be.
Yeah.
People don't have holes in their shoes and stuff
I
like
don't
that.
have holes in my shoes.
You're wearing slippers.
Yeah.
Good effort. Thanks for making the effort again. Really.
But look at my socks though. You know, they're green, representing Christmas trees.
That's your contribution.
That's my contribution.
I'm sat here in a 3-piece Christmas suit and you saying my socks are green.
Yeah.
That's cack.
But anyway, the point I was trying to get to is, which is one thing that you raised, and that is about how so many lounges are propping up in London. We've had a massive turn up of new lounges, new cigar stores, really high-end places as well.
Sure.
Like, have you seen Fuma?
I haven't, and the reason I haven't, I've heard it's amazing.
Beautiful.
But I've heard, boy, can they charge.
Oh my God, mate. So I went there with a good friend, and we sat down. We got cigars. There's no price tags,
right.
And I was thinking, okay, no price tags. Let me get something that I kind of know. So I picked a Partagas Maduro, and she picked I don't know, like Galanas or something, right? They're not crazy expensive, 50 quid for the Partagas Maduro, maybe 35, 40 pounds for the Galanas, no problem. 80 pounds, 2 cigars. And then we ordered some tea. £3.50 for tea, my guy. You know what I mean, right? Guess how much the bill was for 2 cigars and some tea?
How much?
It's like 170.
Oh my God.
Right?
I mean, they say smoking's bad for your health, but they don't have to sell a kidney just to be able to afford it.
But you know what? It's such a gorgeous spot that I'm not even surprised about the price, because wow, what a location. But the point I'm making is all these new lounges that are opening up, all these new stores that are opening up. But we're coming to a stage where, as you mentioned, what are we getting to a point where the market's so saturated, where the UK market can't really handle the amount of cigar stores and lounges, especially considering the fact that, one, we've got a little bit of uncertainty around the Shenzi issue. Because as much as, Habanos, Tabacuba could just turn around and say, we're going nuclear on this, I don't think they are. I think they're going to go for a more reasonable approach to this. But then that could potentially impact the number of cigars or the kind of cigars that we receive in the market. We've got all these new cigars. So we've got 3 new La Casas. 3 new La Casas this year.
Pall Mall.
Sheffield.
Right.
La Casa del Habano in Sheffield. La Casa del Habano in Nottingham. And then we've got a new La Casa, which is opening up. I mean, it's next year, but we're going to factor it in within the same kind of area. Because it was authorized this year. 3 new La Casas. And potentially, we're going to have I've heard, another 2 more La Casas coming into the UK. So you've got all these stores that are coming in. And the prices are just going up and up.
Listen, I have to assume that they're doing their due diligence. This is a business, and they've got some intelligent people managing it. There's big money involved. You're talking billions and billions of pounds. But there was an awful lot of people with a lot of intelligence behind the banking crisis, and they got caught with their trousers down. And at some point in time, bubbles don't deflate, bubbles pop, and you can go from 100 to 0 very, very quickly. And the amount of money that is being invested in these lounges and in the stock and stuff like that, when something just disappears overnight, it's going to leave people like stinging. It's going to hurt somebody. Someone's going to get caught. When the music stops, they're going to be holding the package.
I don't think we're going to have a pop. I don't think the market's been going up and up and up.
I'm not talking about from the market perspective. I'm talking from the economic perspective. So I'm talking about the whole British economy. And,
I see. So the actual economy of Britain itself.
I'm talking about the fact that people will turn around and say, I'm not prepared to go out for a drink with a friend and 2 cigars and spend £170. I'm not prepared to do that.
But do you think that the cigar industry is going to be able to weather that storm? Because,
no.
Well, I think that they can, because as you mentioned, who are actually buying the Cuban cigars here in the UK?
Okay.
And it's a lot of it is being bought from people from mainland China, because they can't purchase Cuban cigars in mainland China. If you want to buy a Cuban cigar in China, good luck, mate. Because you go to any store, you could go to the flagship store, the flagship La Casa in Beijing, nothing.
Yeah, but I know that I can go online, buy these cigars for 25, 28, 35 pounds, go to 10 Manchester Street, be welcomed by 2 of the most knowledgeable masters of Habanos in the UK, pay a service charge, which I'll probably cover anyway with 2 drinks and maybe a bowl of pasta, and smoke my own cigars on their very nice terrace.
Yeah.
I don't need to go and be charged £170 for 2 cigars that I'm paying for myself from the same importer for 35, 40 quid a stick.
But that's local market. We're talking about the actual cigar industry in the UK. And I don't think the bubble's going to pop. I think that the market's going to be relatively fine. We might see a downturn, but I don't think we're going to see a massive, massive drop.
When you've got that many more players playing in it, just any form of a downturn means that there's going to be a reduction of the amount of people purchasing.
Yeah.
Someone's going to lose.
Someone's
going to lose.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you've got an established brand, if you're a Davidoff, if you're a JJ Fox, if you're a Cigars, you're probably going to weather the storm better than a new lounge that people don't necessarily know.
Yeah.
And as beautiful as Fumar sounds, and I've only heard good things about it, am I inclined to go there? I'm not, because why? There's no need for me to pay double the price of a cigar to sit in a very nice room. I don't need it. What, to hang out with somebody who I'm equally happy to... The room itself is not going to enhance my enjoyment.
I agree.
It's the company that's going to enhance my enjoyment. And if I can have that same conversation with somebody, sat with them in Cigars or at 10 Manchester Street or anywhere else like that, then, we can go for dinner at Franco's and sit outside in, under their heaters.
Yeah. Agreed.
There's so many alternatives.
No, I agree with you, but I think that for a lot of people, maybe not, it's not a lot of people, there are a few elite clientele who will happily go to FUMA and spend that additional excess, because it's that the amount of money that you're spending there is a barrier to entry.
Sure, but you're also then going to turn around and say, well, if they go once, are they going to go back? Or are they going to go, right, we've been there, now let's go to the Emery. Or we've been there, now let's go to the Peninsula. Or let's go to the Wellesley. Or I hear they've got a new Master of Habanos at the Lanesborough, right?
Not a Master of Habanos.
Is she not?
Not yet,
right.
But she's working on it.
They've got a new manager there.
Yeah. Which we do need to go, by the way.
Of course, but at the same time, these places are only going to make money if they can get returning clientele.
Yeah.
Before the cigar lounge boom took place, I would smoke regularly at the Lanesborough. I had my friend there, Neil. I knew if I went in there...
Oh, he was lovely, wasn't he?
He was
lovely. Oh, my God.
Neil would give me the welcome of all welcomes. He would always push past me, say hello to my wife, welcome her like she was here, completely ignore me, look at me and go, what do you want? He was my friend. Same at Manchester Street. I can't go to 10 Manchester Street for a quiet cigar. Maurizio and Claudio will just come and talk to me. I haven't seen you for a while. These are... Now, that's how you make a business. You make a business by people coming back to you the whole time. If you're charging people and they're thinking, I want to go back to FUMA, but it's going to cost me another 200 quid.
No, but see, this is sorry for interrupting, but this is where I disagree. I think that with FUMA, he's got certain clientele who are happy to pay the additional amount, but they know that they're going to get cigars which are not readily available on the market. Because he's got some crazy Cubans. He's got these kinds of Cubans. I know we're smoking it. Okay, this is a bad example because we're smoking it here in Batley right now, in my freaking living room. But the point I'm making is these are not generally accessible cigars.
No, you go to the Wellesley, you can find pretty much anything you want there.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I mean,
but what I'm saying is he's also got that kind. He's got the kind of cigars that type of client will walk in for, and they don't care about the price point. Right. They just care about what the cigar is.
If you think there's enough of them that can support a business 52 weeks a year, then so be it. But as soon as you stop seeing these people come in, then, I don't know how, they know how much footfall they need to see in order to make the business viable. I'm not sure, given, if you're relying on tourists to do that, so be it. If you're relying on a certain percentage being domestic footfall as well, I think you will see a change, especially when there are lounges like City of London Cigars, when you can go in there. It's a beautiful lounge, the people are friendly, the cigars are not ridiculously overpriced. The same with Cigar St James's. Whatever kind of vibe you're looking for, why do I need to pay double the price to go there? And unless someone can give me a reason that you're going to find something there that you're not going to find anywhere else, it doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. But that's me as a regular smoker.
I think that the market's going to be fine here in the UK. In general, I think that we might see a little downturn potentially because it has been going up and up and up. But I think for the next couple of years we're gonna see a little bit more of an increase, and then it's gonna level out, and then it's gonna level out. But I don't think it's gonna have. We're not gonna see a massive downturn. We're just gonna see. It's just going to level out a little bit, and we're not going to see a lot of growth. That's what I think.
Again, we also price in legislation. You don't know what legislation is going to do to the market. You bring in a smoking ban, and suddenly, one of the wonderful things about smoking, and we've had this argument for many, many years, we don't smoke cigars. We enjoy cigars. There's a big, big difference. But if younger people can't come in and join this and join the community because of the smoking ban, then eventually you are losing clientele because older people die out. It's just basically you and me going to be sucking on sticks till we're 80, please God. Keith screaming from the side, and, God knows, Chris and Lewis coming in. It's the same bunch of people.
I'm fine with that. No one's going to make money off that, though.
Exactly. So what you're going to need is you need the younger people coming in. You need the next generation of cigar smokers. And if legislation prevents that, then the market over a period of time is going to suffer. It's just that's just the numbers.
That's the major problem that we're facing at the moment across Europe, and that's legislation. Belgium has completely banned lounges completely, and this is what we're already seeing. Big brands divesting from Belgium. They're not. Then they don't want to invest in Belgium in any capacity. They want to start looking at different countries around Europe, and maybe a company like, for example, a company like Dominique London is a little bit more nimble. They can invest. They've invested in multiple different countries, and they can invest in maybe another country if they want to, where the legislation is a little bit more favorable, and they could potentially take a hit, in one country over here, because it doesn't matter, because we're in this other country as well. So a company like Dominique London is probably going to be fine.
So what you're saying is size matters.
I think size matters,
yeah.
Especially when it comes to the level of exposure that you have in respective countries. Like, I don't think anyone's going to invest in the cigar industry in frickin' New Zealand anytime soon, right? Or maybe in Australia, because or potentially even Canada. Like, who's going to open up a cigar lounge in Canada when you've got these ugly bans and all this thing going on? So
there could be somebody screaming at their screen now going, I am. Some guy sat in Vancouver going, shit, I've just opened up 3 lounges. Oh no. Oh, I've done my nuts.
But what I'm saying is, I think the countries matter. But even with that, we've had a lot of scary legislation coming in talking about banning cigars completely. But then we've also seen massive support from certain MPs here in the UK. Sorry, not MPs, members of the House of Lords.
Oh, did you see that speech?
What an incredible speech.
What an amazing speech.
What an amazing speech, right?
It wasn't the fact that he was pro-cigars. He beautifully and eloquently expressed what cigar culture was. And he turned around and said it's not something that you do in a shop front for 5 minutes, you nip out for, it's something you do because you share with your friends.
Yeah.
It's something that encourages conversation. It takes me back to the Marvin Shankin editorial in Cigar Aficionado many, many years ago.
Well, thanks for dropping in our competition in this one.
He turned around and said, that cigar smokers are the last bastions of conversationalists. We are the only people who can sit around and talk to one another without looking at their phones for a period of time and just swap ideas. And there is no greater example of that than Cigar St. James's, where you have people from all walks of life.
Agreed.
That guy who walks in, who cleans the silver and cleans the windows, who comes in and sits with people who are,
literal billionaires.
And he will sit there. The guy's dressed like in a white boiler suit.
Yeah. And he'll sit there and he'll smoke cigars with, and he's a lovely dude.
Yeah. And people will ask him questions and get his perspective. And it's amazing. And, sometimes we are so blinkered by our own ideas that we don't listen to other people and their perspectives. And cigar smoking allows you to do that.
Completely agree. It's the only time where it's the only industry where you can walk into a lounge. You can't do that at a bar. You can't just randomly start talking. You can't ask someone, hey, what are you drinking? None of your business, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in a cigar lounge, you could say, hey, man, what are you smoking? Or what are you
first thing, that's it.
First thing you ask, and everyone's and people are happy to tell you, oh, I'm smoking a whatever cigar. It doesn't even matter what the cigar is. And 9 times out of 10, the answer to that is, that's a good cigar.
Unless it's a Gurkha, in which you tend to go and smoke it in the street.
We don't sell Gurkhas in store.
But it's phenomenal, and you meet so many interesting people with so many. I mean, today, even in Leeds, we sat with
the lady from Minnesota.
Yeah, an intelligent American. We met the one. She was so intelligent, she couldn't wait to get out of the country. Most amazing
I
lady.
disagree with that.
We met a teacher today from Minnesota.
No, wait. First of all, I disagree with the statement that Steven is making. I have no problem with Americans, nothing at all. I do not believe in the stereotype. But go on, Steven, dig deeper.
I ain't going there anytime soon. No, the fact that she turned around and said that she felt that she needed to leave the country. She didn't like what was going on there politically. She didn't feel safe. She was a school teacher from Minnesota. She said that a school down the road her had been a victim of a gun attack. She was talking about how they were trying to bring in legislation for teachers to carry weapons into class, which I can only see ending well. What do you mean you haven't done your homework? You think you're getting in detention? No, mate, you're getting a limp.
You're going to walk permanently.
Exactly, that's what you're getting. You know, and she's going, it doesn't make any sense to me. And she said she's taken a sabbatical, which she originally had intended to take for a year, but now she mentioned to us she was thinking of like leaving the States for 2 years, and she was fascinating to listen to. She was giving us a totally different perspective.
Completely different perspective. Something that we would never have experienced in any other setting.
And we were in there for 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours, and she was fascinating to listen to. She really was. And it makes your cigar smoking experience all the more enjoyable.
I agree. I agree.
It really does. You know, you come out thinking. You come out thinking, oh, I hadn't thought of it that way, or I didn't know that perspective. I haven't experienced that firsthand, but I've listened to somebody who has, and it's given me something to think about. And I think that's what cigar smoking does.
Agreed.
It really does.
I completely agree. But this is why, you know, I'm optimistic about the future. I know that we've had a little bit of I wouldn't say a tough year. It's been a jittery year when it comes to the legislation way. It's been a little bit scary, but then we've had a little bit of pushback. We've had, you know, some fantastic individuals getting together and trying to work against this crazy legislation. And I think that I'm a little bit optimistic about 2026. I'm not going to lie.
Listen, we have no alternative but to be optimistic.
No, I mean genuinely. I don't mean it as like a coping method. I mean, I'm genuinely optimistic about the year. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it, and I think that long term, we're gonna be fine. I think maybe we can pull through this because we managed to pull through a lot of things. You know, the industry has done some incredible things. We're a niche industry. But we're a valuable and important industry. I think so, anyway. And some people may disagree, but I completely believe that this is a valuable industry for the UK.
At this precise moment, I don't think the UK is in any position to start dumping on any industry.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you. I mean, you know, what the hell? At least you can't fault this government. They're looking to piss off absolutely everybody. It doesn't matter what you're in. Sorry, oil, you want to pay how much in taxes? No, we're going to screw you over as well. I mean, at least they don't sort of like discriminate against any industry. They'll piss everybody off. They don't care. So, you know, respect for that. But listen, we're going to go into 2026 and hopefully we'll be continuing to enjoy cigars like this for many, many years to come. Have you enjoyed it? That's what I want to know.
I'm still enjoying it. Are you kidding me? This is glorious. It's sweet.
Yeah,
it's sweet. It's stronger now.
It's a really unique cigar.
Yeah, it's stronger now. It's got a kick to it.
Yeah.
This is quite a bit heavier than what it was when he first started. This is exactly what I envision Cohiba to be. This is precisely what Cohiba needs to be. You know, when you pick up a Cohiba cigar, it doesn't matter if it's aged, not aged, off the shelf, you know, been in like boxes for years or whatever. I'm talking when you're picking up a Cohiba cigar, it needs to give this, maybe not this level of enjoyment, but it needs to give this kind of enjoyment. Because when you're spending that amount of money on it, it needs to be good. It really does. They cannot compromise on the quality of Cohiba. For any other brand, bullshit you through, okay, whatever, fine, you know, sometimes these things happen. But not for Cohiba. And this is like the most Cohiba can be.
And the most important thing is, as much pleasure as I get from looking at them in my humidor, nothing beats actually enjoying them and enjoying them with company. You know, that's what it's all about.
I'm so honored and privileged that you've decided to smoke this cigar with me. This is such a huge thing.
Mine was fantastic. Yours was just an EP2 with 2 bands I put on. That was all.
Just a blind taste.
Yeah, I knew you would know the difference. What the hell? It was either that or Vigueros. I didn't think you'd notice the difference between any of them, so it's all okay.
First of all, I did a blind tasting on an Epicure 2.
Yeah.
And I picked it out immediately. I was in Havana.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've told you this story before, but I was in Havana. We all, me and a few friends, some of my friends from the States, we jumped into a taxi, and I had cigars on me, but my cigars were in my bag and they were kind of like tucked away. So I was like, does anyone have a cigar? And between us, we had like a ton of cigars. So we were just kind of like smoking whatever, It was like community cigars that we had. So I was like, I was speaking to my friend Cody, and I was like, Cody, do you have a cigar? He goes, yeah, no worries. So he picked out a cigar, and I'm like, it doesn't have a band. He goes, nah, I took the bands off. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I got it, I cut it, I lit it, took a few puffs on it. I was like, it's a bit empty, isn't it? I swear to God, I swear to God. I was
Way to
like,
spit in the face of a man who's just given you a cigar.
no, these are community cigars.
Yeah.
They're community cigars, right? So I'm like, it's a bit empty, isn't it? I'm like, oh, is this an Epicure too? And he goes, how do you know? And I'm like, I knew it. I could tell immediately. Like, I took a few puffs. I got into like the first inch of it, and I was like, it's a bit empty. And like the guy, one of my friends who was sat next to me goes, that's so impressive.
When you smoke as many.
When you smoke as many bullshits like that, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have to say, I can just about cope with not feeling my fingers and toes, but this is now getting so strong, if I puff any more, I'll probably lose my sight as well. So I think this one's pretty much done. And it lived up, if anything, exceeded all my expectations.
This has definitely exceeded my expectations. I don't want to add this onto the list of the best cigars I've smoked this year, because I think this is cheating. This feels like cheating. It really does, because it's too obvious.
That's what it was there for, right?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of a special cigar. That's why you don't smoke them every single day. If you smoke them every single day, then they just become, mundane. And something like this should never be mundane. Something like this should be something that you savor, something you recollect for years to come, and go, do you remember when we smoked the 1966? Well, do you remember when we did this? And
we don't need to remember. It's right here.
It's right here. Yeah. That's brilliant.
We can be old and senile and just watch the video again.
I'm certainly one of those already. That's for certain. I'll let you decide which one it is. But it's
neither. I disagree.
And thank you for inviting me back up again.
Are you kidding me? I love it. I was looking forward to this. This has been fantastic. As always, I don't think we really stuck to the subject, or we really actually talked about the subject properly. But I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
We talked about Cohiba quite a lot, which makes sense considering the cigar that we're smoking at the moment. Wow, what a cigar! What a cigar!
So I'll have to dig around in the humidor to find something even more special next time I come up.
No. You don't need to do that. You do not need to do that.
But it's been the most amazing day. And please God, it should be a great 2026. Is all I can say.
I think we're gonna be fine. Let's see, just the final quick check on any of the comments. That's a great angle. Smoke what I know and like. Message retracted. Okay. I would love to be able to get some Cuban cigars here in the States. Go Canada, right? Canada. Come to the UK. You'll find Cuban cigars. We've got stock. That's the one thing good. I said this to you earlier. This is the one great thing about the UK market. Prices are high, but you'll find anything you want.
Yeah.
You'll find any cigar that you want. They're here. And the last comment: I would be concerned if I just opened up a cigar lounge in the UK.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
And we've got that many new ones opening up. Again, I don't disagree. I think some of them are going to walk straight into a real torrid time. But here's hoping that I'm wrong. Here's hoping that the people who smoke continue to smoke. And here's hoping that they can do so in good health and in good company and have a great 2026 on the back of it.
And hey, if the market in the UK does, go down a little bit, it's fine. We've got the Arabs and the Chinese that are going to come and buy all our cigars.
From your mouth to God's ears. Is all I can say.
We've got we've got the demand. We'll be fine.
The only thing I'm concerned about now is I've got to go back into Leeds city centre looking like a Christmas tree. I'm hoping not too many people will see me wearing this. But this is going back in the cupboard and won't come. It'll have to be dry clean because it's going to smell of cigars now. But this won't come out again now for another 12 months. Yeah, I'm glad to see that it got its annual outing. And
Also, how did you manage to smoke through your cigar so quickly? Like mine is such a slow burn.
you know, it was so good, right? You just wolf it down. It was marvelous. It really was.
This is definitely one of the best.
I'll tell you one of the things that I really liked about it, and the reason why I probably smoked it a little bit quicker than you, and you picked up on it, is that no two puffs were the same. The more you puffed, the more you went to the next flavour level.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's a very complex cigar.
Yeah.
But it's not. I didn't find it to be. You know how sometimes you smoke a cigar and it's got a little bit of like ADHD or something. You know, you're smoking like the hell. I don't know where this cigar is landing.
Yeah.
This cigar has like a base. It's got a very enjoyable bass line, but then like it's got this sprinkling on top of different flavor notes that come in and out. And yeah, what an incredible cigar. Like I said, this was supposed to be that cigar that I purchased when I don't even remember what my target was, right? But I know I reached it, and then I went onto the Cigars website and I was like, oh, they're sold out. Sucks to be me. So then, what did I buy? A Siglo 6, and I was disappointed.
I don't think you can compare the two.
No, you can't. You can't compare the two. But that was the only Cohiba at the time. What was this? 2019. Well, I don't know what was happening at that time, but all the fancy whatever Cohibas were just getting sold out so quickly. Everything was just gone. This is before pandemic as well. Like, you just could not find a really good cigar. And Siglo 6 was the only one that was, which I kind of knew about, because this is like going 6 years back when I was still learning. I'm still learning about cigars, but I was still learning about Cohiba, and I thought, oh yeah, Siglo 6, everyone keeps buying them, I'll buy one of them. Then I smoked it, and I was like,
Well, listen, if the time comes, then the only thing you can smoke is a Siglo 6. You're not doing too badly. That's it. As much as you don't like them, it's not a bad place to have your baseline, is it really? Let's be honest.
In all fairness, I did smoke, who did I was at James Barber's store, and I was hanging out with James and Rosalie, and at the end of the night, it was actually a New World cigar event, and no, listen, and I'm not going to say what brand, but I smoked the cigar and I was like, what the So I put the cigar down and I went into the store and I was like, Rosalie, you gotta let me buy like a cigar, you know, like, can I buy like a Cuban? And she's like, no. It's a New World cigar event, Osman, we gotta respect the vibe. I said, okay, fine. So I bought an Oliva, because I like Oliva.
Yeah.
I bought an Oliva, I cut it, took the band off and just smoked the cigar. And, you know, evening went off. And then once the evening finished and, you know, all the representatives of the brands and whatever, they left, Rosalie came out and she goes, okay, now we can smoke some cigars. Now we can enjoy some cigars, right? And she pulled out a Siglo 6 from like 2012 or something stupid, you know, old band. And she gave it to me and I was like, oh. And I was like, oh, it's because I didn't let you buy a cigar earlier and I felt bad. Like, you didn't have to feel bad about that. And she goes, look, either you smoke it or I smoke it. What do you want? So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll smoke it. That was glorious.
Now, I have got a home, which I'll have to dig out, which my mother-in-law bought me many, many years ago. I've got from the late 90s some Cohiba Lanceros, which I've never smoked. Like, they have just sat in there.
You have to smoke them.
I have never smoked them because it's just not a size.
You have to smoke them.
That's what we'll do next time you come to London. We'll have to crack
No. That's a cigar you need to smoke in your lounge, in your garden. Yeah. You have to smoke one. Just please. Yeah, please. It's, next Sunday when I do a live stream, I'm expecting you to smoke one of those.
All right, I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay.
I'll let you know how it goes. There you go. That'll be my first Sunday smoke of the new year. There you go. But it's been awesome. I've had a great day. It's been great coming up here.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this, man. Thank you so much for coming up.
It's my pleasure.
All the way to Batley. Not Bradford. Not Bradford.
Thumbs up to Bradford. Thumbs up to Bradford. And yeah, hope everybody out there has a great rest of the year. And here's to a wonderful 2026.
Here's to a wonderful 2026. This is a fantastic way to end the year, though.
It is indeed.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Steven. I really appreciate it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and appreciate it. I tried to keep up with the comments, but unfortunately we don't have Alex this evening, so it's been a bit hit and miss with some of the comments and everything. So, but I did read some of the comments, and some of the comments have been a bit.
I'll have to read those afterwards.
You won't be able to see them.
Oh, okay. That's a shame.
Said I'm from Bradford. I'm so hurt about that.
It's just made my day. It really has. It really
anyway,
has.
Wishing you all well, and I hope you all have a lovely New Year's Eve and a fantastic new year. Wishing you all all the best. And once again, Steven, this is such an honor. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, buddy.
And thank you again.